Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Starbase Expanded Episode 4. We seem to be getting good response to these videos, so we're going to keep doing them for you. So today who have we got today? I've got Alex and Todd and Chad and Alex K. So g'day Alex, good to have you back again.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello Todd. Oh, Todd's not here. Todd will come in later on. I'm going to chat Alex K. Which is what? Chaz boy.
Yep.
So we got some 5x5s in chat for the audio. Awesome. Okay, we might just quickly go over masses again. See where the conversation leads us. I quite often say I'm not sure how we're going to fill in the time. The next thing you know, 4 hours later, we're still streaming. So let's start here.
Still a funny woman.
Sorry?
You are a funny woman every time you say that.
Yes.
You just DM us to 5 hours. I'm not complaining, I just think it's hilarious.
Isn't that what the 5x5 means?
Hang on, I've got to quickly shut a door here.
I was thinking
one day one of these will roll for like 6 hours and become more of a marathon.
Oh. You weren't around back in the day. When Thomas there was a show and tell the rocket talk, so it went over 24 hours.
What?
Alright, I'm back. So I don't think we've actually discovered much more here. I only had one thought, was that, I mean, these have to be suspended somehow. Alex, you were saying there might there's some sort of attachment points here.
Yep.
But for back that way, yeah?
No, they're gonna cross over, it looks like. Because you don't forget, you have the bumpers extending the flap arms. It has to sort of slip between. And the hydraulics also would appear. Because if you go back to those, the only thing question is they both have by the ends the gray marks where it looks like they're going to be potentially cut or welded there. Yeah, all 4 of those have.
The only thing that confuses me there, because the ship has to be here, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's round, so this will be on the outer edge, and if where the catch point is, I don't know if it actually hooks behind that metal or if the bumpers sit there. I don't remember how this was originally set up.
So those triangles might go out this way, yeah?
Yeah, or they could just be parallel with it and head straight up.
Upways.
Because part of this was structured originally for how it was suspended from on top of a booster. So if they're gonna suspend it from those V's, but yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking with it. Yeah.
It'd have to come out here, you're thinking.
We're straight up. Yeah, it's hard without a top down. And those other pieces are where they were hanging it from. Those wedges. Yeah. So it wouldn't be completely out of line. Let's see.
You mean this way straight up, like that, from one side to the other up here?
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. Now that makes sense, sorry, thanks.
Yeah, and then like the flat end where it comes to a point where it has that flat side that'll be connected to like a jib or it, a rod on the black ones that takes it back to the upper structure. Because there's that flat surface on the one on the right. Could be a mating surface to take it back to the tower. Or, like could be completely often. Yeah, if it's connected to those big black squares, yeah.
I thought they're kind of prepping something here, doesn't it, in specific spots too?
It looks like that. And what's also is the where it comes to a point on the V, that column, yeah, if you go down and then where it comes to the end by the rail, there looks like a plates on there and on the other one. Yeah. So that was my other thing is, maybe they'll be connecting those to that, but I couldn't make the geometry work. The black frames, V-shaped frames.
And then still just use this sort of sling system across to actually do the squeezing still.
Yeah, I haven't actually. This is all just spitballing in my head because there's a couple tricky things with the ship because of those forward flaps.
Pesky forward flaps, yeah.
And it's the same issue when they come in to the sticks to land because you have to shoot the gap between the aft and the forward flaps, so you can't do quite what the booster does and just slide in and just drop. You kind of have to almost lateral your way in because there's not a lot of vertical room.
The thing
between the two.
The thing that's confusing me though is why are they making a very fixed structure for something that could realistically be done on a test stand or like a test structure or a test tank.
So this is a test structure. They probably. I think it has a secondary purpose, to be honest. If the HLS, they also have a lot of stuff at this level that they may or may not want to static fire, depending how they're going to do those landing engines. If they're going,
Can't wait to see this top piece just get melted.
probably won't get. I mean, there's not a lot of thrust that's going to be that direction, so.
Still seems to be awfully heavily duty built, doesn't it?
Well, this is carrying. I mean, the columns, if you are carrying just a vertical load, this is carrying a horizontal load. And if you look at the platforms for on the ship gantry, those are just it's framed more or less the same. That upper V could be viewed just as a strength for strengthening, just making it a trussy like structure. Because I mean, it is a 12-meter span or a little more maybe.
Yeah, true. Yeah, this so yeah, the span, yeah, for sure. It is very much.
And for the lattice for the legs, since that's more or less just carrying a vertical load.
Yeah, with the load being over this, so with the load being over here, that sort of brings the load sort of back to the center, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that lower arm is more or less just to help stabilize, because in essence it's only being held at the load goes straight down through there. Everything else is just stabilizing at that point. It's very much reminiscent of lattice towers or radios in some high tension electric, where they come to a single point and they're more or less held up by their guide cables.
There, Indy. There, Indy.
I'm here.
You want to address that donation?
I would love to. I was just waiting. We want to thank Sedated for his their $10 donation, and they wrote, "We'll trade AV gas money for Rocket Factory prawn."
Avgas, that's the go. Got to love a bit of avgas in the morning.
What is avgas?
Aviation gasoline. It's usually a bit higher octating. What is it? 105, 110, or is it 90 and 110 or something like that, or 110 and 130? I think it is. I think it's 110 and 130. So I suppose not much more to go on with that. The only thing I sort of brought that was because I had these couple of images from Sean, so I thought I'd just throw them in this. But I don't think we get any more information from them, to be honest. So I did all this special work in OBS to get, where is OBS? To get his watermark up. I could show my face, but I'm a bit weary. I haven't got any good clothes on today. I've noticed that scaffolding. Now let's get rid of that. I noticed that the scaffolding now has been built up a lot more on the side here. It'll very soon be all the way up, and I think they're putting in one more of the X braces too in the last sort of few hours.
Kind of surprised they didn't put those X braces in before putting the top on.
And maybe they needed a little bit of wiggle room to make sure they can get the top on. If they put the brace in first, it might have been too stiff. If they need a little bit of room, well, it doesn't look like looks like it has a fair bit of tolerance to not be exactly in one spot, though, doesn't it? They've been having a bit of trouble with getting this frame together. Was it down here? It's still not. I still didn't get it quite put together properly. That's funny.
They might be just putting stiffeners there.
Yeah, that'd work for sure. What? It's dead dinosaurs for planes. What?
AV gas. When I asked you what it is.
Sorry. Yeah. Dead dinosaurs for planes. Yeah. Very good. Okay, what else is at Massey's that's of any interest? Let me just jump over to static fire stand. I think we crossed this anyway. They've been putting that's not a good shot. They've been putting the chain hoists on the static fire stand. Also, I might show it. Yeah, there's at least one shown. So we should see that go up underneath soon, and all that last bit of scaffold removed, maybe. Oh, maybe not, actually. They should be able to get that platform up underneath without removing that little bit of scaffold, actually, I think. And still need those RVAC thingies, brackets. So was there a rollback from the Massey's to the build site coming up? A road closure.
Yeah,
There's-
tomorrow night.
So maybe for this thing.
Yeah, I
From
should
Massey's
imagine
to build
so.
site.
Yeah, message to Todd. I told you Todd was coming, and Jake too. I really appreciate Jake jumping in on commentary as well. Jake's got an amazing amount of info in his little brain of his big fat brain of his.
He's going to
So
be
little
joining
brain.
us more often in the future as well.
Cool. Really like this design. It's really neat.
Is it just me or is it cleaner than before?
Looks it, doesn't
Maybe.
it?
I noticed that. It's still so crazy to me that that thing is will survive what happened to it with ship 36. Oh, we're talking about oops. We're talking about the booster stand. Oops.
Yeah, booster stand. But still, it seems cleaner. I don't know. Maybe if I just looked at it too closely with a ton of metal and shrapnel everywhere, it made it seem dirtier in my head. But I don't know. It just seems like it's more organized and clean right now.
Well, it was really wasn't it only below the right chine, I believe, where that the COPV kind of liberated itself through the grating.
Went through there, and
Yeah.
there's one down under here. Well, Todd, the lighting this week. I noticed all the photos this week. Who said it? I think Uma said. Someone said it to me in DMs. Because of the cloud, it's like in photography you use like dispersed lighting. So it might have something to do with the light. So there's no shadows or anything. It might have something to do with the lighting this week.
Yeah, that actually would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Sure looks nice.
Putting silk over your lights.
Yeah.
Event Dude suggested it might be a different color tone as well.
It's a different grade, color grade. The shots are.
This is a shot I used in the episode. Yeah, everything looks a little bit different this week. So I believe 39.1 is here now as well. Undergoing another set of tests. Gee, it's not going to be long now. Do another test on 39.1, take the crow stand back to the production site, and let's say ship 39 proper is pretty well ready to roll out. But I mean, we're still going to need to see the SQD assembly. And I'm wondering if we're going to see both QD assemblies, like for the refuel as well in here. Do you think they'll need to use the transfer ports, the transfer QD on down here on Earth, or do you think it'll only be used in space, in orbit?
Other than for ground testing, I don't know what else you would need to do. There's a lot of that mock. There's very little as a field transfer you could simulate on Earth.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether they need them like to fill up a second set of tanks, or they're going to use the same main tanks, or that's. I mean, there's always that debate as to what they're going to do with the tanks, I guess.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, I think they'll just use the main tanks, to be honest. I mean, even if they use secondary tanks, they still could use the main QD to fill them, I suppose.
Separation of concerns. Having your secondary, because not all ships are going to be tankers, or I mean, they'll have the hardware, but a lot of it doesn't carry over, especially if they're coming out from what the diagrams look like on a secondary QD of some sort.
Jack's got to leave us for a little bit.
Because if you look at, I mean, the booster is probably not the best example, but how the LOX side on the booster off the QD went on that exciting journey of discovery was feeds going every which way. And and the other thing is where they're going to be pulling the propellant from in the tanks. The methane's easier in the LOX because it's completely sort of isolated, but where are you going to pull it from the LOX tank, from the sump? Do you have a fill line already going there? How much dead pool are you going to have? How much potential? And granted, there's a lot of ways they can mitigate the if they are tapping post pre-burner for the autogenous LOX pressurization to minimize contamination, but especially on the LOX side, there's a lot of open question marks whether or not it would be the best to use the main tanks.
There's always the in-depth physics with just about every little tiny thing to do with, well, most industries, I suppose, but seems especially so for rockets with dealing with things like zero gravity and pressures and temperatures and so on with their cryo stuff.
Oh yeah, we're not even touching how they're going to keep it. It is slight acceleration during the entire transfer. I mean, they could just have it spinning in a circle, I guess.
Short of having a bladder, they need some kind of acceleration, don't they?
You have to in that low gravity environment. It just goes into a big cloudy mist.
Yeah, we saw that on some earlier Apollo missions, didn't they? They had a camera in there that showed the tank when it got to zero. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw somewhere along the line.
There was a question about concrete pour. So
Sure.
All for One is asking, how difficult is it for that 45-degree angle or slope on the concrete pour?
Now that is one of my areas of expertise, because being involved with concrete swimming pools for about 10 years, you can lay concrete vertical without any formwork. You need a rear formwork, and then you just put, if this was it, say we wanted to spray more concrete on here, you just put some rebar, attach it to that concrete wall, and use spraycrete, and just spray it in there. This may not even need that. If you look at, I suppose I could bring up a photo of that spraycreting. Give me a sec.
Yeah, stateside shotcrete is, I think, the trade verbiage that they use here.
Are they shotcreting this, or are they just using a thicker mix?
I think they'll do it probably like all the berm. So yeah, just a low slump mix.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Either's definitely an option. Kind of depend on. I don't know what turns out to be stronger. When the final finished product, I'm sure whatever it is, they're going to go with the stronger product.
you could probably hit virtually the same strengths with either technique.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we used to use this system. I was not saying that's what they're going to use, where you have a concrete pump and an air compressor, and the concrete hose at the very end has a narrowing, and just behind that you put high compressed air. Why is that? Our air compressor line, we didn't have this. Our air compressor line went straight from the compressor straight to the nozzle, and a little tap on the air line, and when and that pushes, but you got to lean really hard into it. It pushes hard against you. See how he's leaning. See how far that guy's leaning forward. It really pushes back. So yeah, it's a spraycrete, or like you said, yeah, like they did at Burns, Alex. Just using a more stiffer mix. This mix, that's exactly how we did it.
I mean, this hits its structural strength so much faster.
Yeah, the concrete we were using had lots more fines in it and a lot more cement, and it's to make it sticky. And it went off in within 20 minutes. You got to have it finished, or you lose it. And you got to do some spraying here, then some over there, so you don't get any cold joints. But I digress.
Yeah. Good at
And
messing
normal
stuff.
normal concrete's like 12, sort of 15 MPa. This stuff's like 45 MPa. You can hit it with a hammer, it like rings like a bell when it's set. So maybe they'll just get away with what you said, a stiffer mix. What do you call it? High slump or low slump, whichever one it is. Low slump.
Low.
High slump, yeah, because you want the big cone. But
You can do amazing, like they did this panel over here. I suppose I don't know whether they used shotcrete over here or just the same, much the same as what they did over here. I guess it's exactly the same. Good question. Pebble dash, pebble wash, yeah. Sometimes when we spray concrete, afterwards we'd spray on or we'd trowel on a render, and you can acid wash it later on to expose the pebble to have like a pebble look. Most of the pools I work with, we tiled them with 50mm or 2-inch ceramic tiles. That was my main job, tiling.
just to keep us into the weeds, do you have to plaster when you're tiling, or are you just using the thin set as a plaster layer, so to speak?
There's two. When you do the render, you leave the concrete open. You just cut it. You don't trowel it off. Leave it, and that's called leaving it open, so the render can go into the concrete a bit once the concrete's set. When we tile it, you got to close it like this, so it's nice and smooth. And then we just use straight cement and water as the glue, and a tiny little bit of sand, just a handful of sand per bag of cement, per 10 kilos of cement, just to help with washing at the end. And you can only do that in swimming pools because they're underwater all the time. You can't drain one of our pools in the middle of summer. You can't drain the floor, or the tiles will pop up on the floor. But underground, the concrete stays at a constant temperature and constant moisture, so the concrete doesn't move. So you can get away with straight cement and water. And we do the straight cement and water because most tile glue products break down with the pool chemicals. And straight cement and water doesn't break down, and it makes a better seal. And unlike tiling in a bathroom where you only put enough glue down so you don't get any glue coming up through the grout joints, we put a lot more glue on the walls, so when you push the tile in to the cement mix, it oozes out of the grout joint. Because what you don't want under a tile in a concrete pool is you don't want any air pockets underneath the tile in a concrete pool either, or chemical water will get in and once again erode the cement. And then later on we grout it and then wipe it clean. The good thing, and with a pool, so many things with pools that are different to a house, you got to start at the top with a pool rather than a bottom. So you can't stack the tiles on spaces. You got to start at the top at the water level, because you got to mark water level first, because if you don't have your tiles at the top in a pool water level, the pool will look crooked. So you got to start at the top. The thing with cement does too is you wet the wall slightly. You can't use dry cement. You can't use dry concrete. Sorry, the concrete has to be slightly moistened before you put the straight cement and glue on. Straight cement and water mix. And what happens there is the back of the tile absorbs some of the water, and so does the concrete. Sorry, and it pulls the tile to the concrete and creates a friction, so the tile won't slide down the wall. And so that's how you can manage to sort of basically keep tiles with wet glue defying gravity. Anyway, that's pools.
Oh, one last bit to just complete the circle. The reason you're using that 45 MPa is that strength concrete above is around, I think, 35 MPa. Water won't pass through it. It becomes waterproof.
It also needs the strength. they're prone to float. They make concrete shells, concrete hulls for boats, for ships and that.
Yeah, but yeah, once you're above high 30s and 40 MPa for concrete, they won't weep water through them because there aren't the micro cracks and stuff, passages for water to force itself through. But
You do
again,
get the odd sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say we should probably put a fork in our side excursion into the realm of pools and concrete.
Just one final thing: where we do get leaks sometimes, where the skimmer box comes through or where the pipe comes through, sometimes we might get a leak through there. So what we do is we notch out the concrete and put in some sealant products, which was called I can't remember what it's called now. It's been a minute. That's like 10 years ago now. All right, yeah. So I think people picked up last week that I'm an electrician by trade. Yeah, I did a lot of concrete pools as well for 10 years. So now I've been a carer for 10 years. Must be time to change career again. I tend to do that every 10 years. Okay, test tank over here. We pretty well talked about this in depth, I guess, on both shows through the week. I did catch about half of the live stream on the weekend. I see. It was good that we weren't the only ones that thought these look a lot like COPVs, but yeah, anyway. Then obviously not. I don't think there's much more to say about this. I know they've put one or two rods back in, or maybe just that one rod's been put back in the last few hours. Huh, they haven't hooked this up yet.
I don't know if any of the rods been put back in, but I know we were all excited when they put the first one in, thinking we're going to get some testing, and they went, "Oh no, you didn't get testing." Pulled it out.
Yeah, they were, like I say, Steph was saying they did put at least one of the rods back in the last few hours. I'm not sure if there's been any more yet. But this time it actually seems to have been left there rather than taken off straight away.
I like this. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I think we're going to say the same thing. The top of this is so much better thought out with the little covers and everything else.
Great minds think alike, Alex. Well, some minds think alike. I'm not saying I'm a great mind. That's some good shots. There you go. Some nice shots in here. Oh, so much stuff involved with testing. The schematic on this must be pages. Must be like a whole book worth of schematics for this thing. I look down through here, you can see the 45 ones down through there. I didn't really notice that before. But there's another thing in there.
It's one of the rods, I think. Yeah, it's so much nicer.
Oh, it is too. It is. It's that rod there. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I can see them all.
So much more usable dynamic range without all the specular highlights.
I just noticed that's got the little covers for the rods and the cap or walkway as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so
these
much work. Yeah.
Yeah, when the rod's not there, that looks like a lid that'll close over. Yeah.
Like everything, those lids look so much. They look so small, and then when you zoomed in like that, it's like, wait, you could put your leg through that hole.
Yeah.
A good chunk of your body would fit.
Okay, so have a look around at the overall site. I like these overall pictures. So this frame over here still isn't being used. I'm sort of thinking it has something to do with this frame down here, but still, it's only speculation. Or maybe it has something to do with those. I don't know.
When we get to Sanchez, there's some stuff.
Well, let's just go over there because we can go back to the pause on the show.
Yeah, that'd probably help.
Where is that? Is it that photo? Yeah, hang on. Now I'll bring up this week. You're going to get me mixed up in my weeks.
Oh, this is fine because it's just that upper ring with all the actuators on it, and then one of the big round things that showed up last week over in Sanchez by the one by the white, the back one. That's why I think this is just a replacement for that ring.
Is it big enough? Let me just. So it's sort of almost like the size of a car. Where's a car? Ooh.
It's close, but it has 6 mounting points, and this is.
So what are these?
Access ports for the actuators and stuff. They're supply lines.
Event Dudes in the chat brings up a good point also. Says, not sure we talked about the Massey's Road being concreted and what looks like a water pipe being put in.
Oh.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Concreted.
Yeah,
Which
throughout
end's
last week they had a huge trench right down the center of it.
Let me see if I've got a broader shot. I don't think I have a Massey's.
Yeah, I think in December is when it. What was it? Fish and Wildlife finally. I think they're letting them just pave the whole thing.
So I must be getting concrete up in the Highway 4 end first.
Yeah, towards the end of last week, it was just a giant trench down the center of it from the ground photos. And
I wonder if they'll keep going with the concreting around here.
no.
No. Yes.
No.
I want him to be concreted.
I don't know why they don't care about that edge, but
Yeah, he says he doesn't know if they've started concreting it, but it's set to be concreted. He said created.
Ah, cool. Thanks, Event Dudes. Appreciate it.
Hey, Stephanie, you know what will happen with that little area you want concreted, right? Over on the right. They'll probably cover it in concrete, and then they'll break up the concrete next to it.
Yeah, I usually do that.
I've noticed they've also started adding some new mega packs in here at Massey's and over at Sanchez.
These have been here for a while.
Yeah, they're just newer, is what I mean. They've got 2 or 3 new ones over at Sanchez as well. If you remember, I think 3 months ago or something, they had slightly moved them around that shop area that we were all wondering about. Yeah, up at the top of the screen there.
Yeah, these have been here for a while too.
it looks like they've room to bring 2 more in.
Yeah, they definitely do.
They're all in pairs on their transformers. They step up transformers.
My eyes twitching with the 2 different styles.
I'm telling you, if you guys go and look at Tesla Austin, it's kind of insane what they're starting to put together with Cortex 2, considering all the electrical stuff and transformers. It's pretty insane.
I think I got a bit of an idea what's going on with all the transformers. These are, I think these are 383 phase over there in America.
470, four something. I forget.
Which is what these things produce, and then to transmit around the whole site, they picked it up to like 4,000 or 7,000 volts, and then kick it back down again at different areas. That's why you see transformers all over the place. And the main supply, I think we've worked out, was something like 32,500 or something, comes in here and gets kicked down to the local 7,000 or 4,000 volts local, and then I guess these might maybe they transform down as well, but the shots we saw from Starship Gazers showed these as step-up transformers.
Yeah, it's Massey's is being fed was 35 kilovolts.
35, yeah. And the same at
32,
Massey's
35, it's
here.
all over. Yeah. It's that point.
35 would come into this one and then get dropped down to 7.5, whatever it is, for the local transmission. They're just a bit, the runs are a bit long to keep down at the low voltage, I think. By the time from there to there, you'd have to put in a fairly big, fairly large cable to keep the voltage drop in check. If you ran that at 7,000 volts around there, or even 1,100 volts, you'd be able to use heaps smaller cables. Because, you know, amps cause voltage drop. So the less amps you got, the less voltage drop you get. So you kick your voltage way up.
Cheaper too.
Handy having an electrician in the show to explain that to us. Appreciate the explanation, Steph. And good evening.
Hello.
Hi. So I had a little thing to attend to. G'day, Kumas. How you going? How's Canada nice and cold?
Good to hear from you, mate. We're busy melting up here. The snow's staying on the mountains, but down in the valleys it's +4, and it's turned in. Well, it freezes overnight, and then the motorways turn into skating rinks because people don't know how to drive on packed ice and snow.
Whee!
But it's fun. It beats bushfires.
Yeah,
I just hope you and Kelly are still safe, mate.
For now, yeah. We have a fire plan. This fire is about 30 miles over to my left here, 40 miles. And they're fairly bad. We've had a week of cooler weather. We're in for another heat wave next week and strong winds, and they haven't put them out yet. So we have a plan in place. We're ready to jump in a car and go if we need to.
Well, that's a good plan. You're all set to rock and roll.
We have like 3 different escape routes.
Oh, you need it where you are up in the mountain valleys, and no, I'm not divulging where you live. That's your privacy, and I will protect it.
Okay, let's go on to Rio West because everyone seems interesting. Rio West from time to time. Don't know, there's a lot of change this week. I thought I saw them starting concreting. They haven't started concreting yet. They've just put the road base in.
Do we know from the planning documents how far they're planning to expand Rio West in terms of the housing development?
Yes, that's something that Event Dudes keeps telling me, but I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, Event Dudes, you do such a good job. That bit at least. I think there's the road's going to go all the way through to, is it Quicksilver Drive over here somewhere?
Yeah, they're going to try to extend it for sure.
Yeah, something that's drummed into us quite a lot in Australia is when there's fires, have a plan and make sure you're ready to execute it. I'm sure it's the same in California when there's fires. Everyone's sort of on edge and keeping an eye out for things.
I'm not saying about that. Don't ask me.
Chompy's making some great progress.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I see some firefighting videos and I keep thinking, oh, that's definitely Australia because there's gum trees. And I keep thinking, actually, no, California has a lot of gum trees too, don't you?
Oh yeah. We have our own share of widowmakers.
They're a weed. They're kind of like they're classified as a weed here. They have all the definition of a weed. They tick every single box in Australia too.
But they have the added bonus that they well, put their oils in the soils that pretty much poisons off most other plants.
Allotropic effect, I think that's called.
Yeah. Sounds about right, but yeah, it's funny.
Pine
know,
trees
we'll-
do it too.
Looks
we'll
like we
take
got
over
a.
everything. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, looks like we got an AstroTurf backyard going in over there, in the back of the rec center.
Yeah, they put up a retainer wall. I guess that's the finished. I guess that's the finished product. So it's some kind of render they put on top of the concrete. I mean, technically, I guess. So, Alex, we still had to, with that thing about waterproofing concrete, we still had to put some kind of product on top of the concrete. But I think you're right. I know you're right with the higher MPA. It does. It's not anywhere near as porous. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, because here we normally will use plaster and or the resin with the pebbles and smears that around. Yeah, this looks like it's just probably going to be a plaster or pebble bed. This looks like just a shot creek. You're pointing out how to place it earlier.
It does look finished from being sprayed. Pebblecrete. There's another. Yeah, there's a polymer one too that's like blue and it's got like shiny freckles in it, or it can be blue or orange or light blue or dark blue or all sorts of different colors.
Yeah, because it looks like they just have the lane markers and the top water level, which is very popular here to only tiles for 6-inch.
Oh, around the
Around the
top, yeah,
top.
band, yeah. Yeah, bands are good. When I was tiling, we'd tile the pool. If they wanted a fancy decorative band around the top, that was good because chuck an extra $500 on the bill. If there was a spa in the pool, it's another $500 on the bill, plus the meterage.
Yeah, so that's a lap pool. It'd been nice if they had a gutter system, but
If it had a wet edge, that was another $500 a pool. If it had pop-up floor cleaners in the floor, little pop-ups. They're like a sprinkler you have out on your lawn. The pop-up sprinklers, but they pop up and just blast a jet of water around, which drives all the sediment down to the main drain, which the skimmer boxes. There's a venturi going on with the skimmer boxes because you're not allowed to have suction straight from the bottom of the pool because that was a bad idea. That there was quite a few. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. And the same with suctions on the walls. You have to have suctions 1.2 meters apart through a T. You can't have a straight suction on the pool. Plus, they've got to have a safety cap over them.
believe me, we have our own host of without all the vacuum breaks, suction breaks, and stuff.
I like how they're doing those paths in there. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Gives it more green area. I don't know. Just looks nice.
What are they? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Probably
5, 6,
mailboxes.
7.
Yeah, probably mailboxes.
Large so you can get your Amazon deliveries.
Maybe.
Because I thought these were only like 2 units per floor.
I think they're duplex, quadplex. Yeah, like
then
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28.
Yeah, you have the one that you have no common wall except, and then, or one common wall, it seems like.
Bit of shrubbery.
palm trees.
Yeah, they love their palm trees down there. Oh, they've got some other things. Look, they've diversified. There's a bit of biodiversity going on.
Oh, you can tell they have dogs.
Oh, have these areas been moved into now?
I'd say so.
Yeah, I'd imagine some of them are for sure.
Tell you what, it's not a bad accommodation, is it?
Heck no, right on the water. Just that'd be nice.
I wouldn't complain.
These look like they've been moved into.
Yeah, they look. Are they more of kind of apartment style?
Yeah, like Alex is just saying, they're ground level and second floor. Then that's with a duplex on each. Or Alex, are they double story on each one? Only 2 double stories. I'm not sure now.
I don't
don't
think
know,
so.
but I feel like-
That's what the staircases look like. They're individual.
They're large for.
Yeah, see, if you look on that one, you can see the second floor doors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
okay, yeah.
4 apartments.
With a shared roof experience.
And that's
It's
if you
funny
let
this,
them
though.
go.
Those are apartments, or is it a vertical condo?
It's duplex, single floor duplexes.
So each end is a duplex, and they have their own private picnic area up on the roof.
Right, and how they share it between the 2 levels is
Cool. Thank you, Alex.
Oh, cool. Darth gave me the go ahead. Awesome.
I don't get the little one in the middle. Why not just make another full building? I don't know.
that's
Because then they wouldn't trigger your OCD.
Yeah, that's it. Never mind. What am I thinking?
Maximize.
I mean, you want to keep it. Never mind. I won't go there.
Yeah,
They
it
look-
keeps it open, so there's still more green space. I think it looks quite
I mean,
nice.
yeah, because there's so much of what SpaceX has. You have the 2 extremes. This is sort of like your, I don't know, your normal California-esque kind of stuff, and
I'm
then they
ex-
have their brutalisms that they also are big fans of.
Over here,
Well,
over here.
The apartment complex is, I think, going to be a bit of a mix between the 2 from the planning photos. If you remember the like architectural sketches.
Yeah, the renders. I mean, that's just a car park with a belt of apartments around it, the perimeter.
What a good jungle. What there was a what? At least they've got a good climbing jungle gym. Was that here?
I think, yeah, it looks like they're having for or is that no? I think those are for bringing in that lot because that you're looking at stuff. I think those racks are for bringing in stone.
Yeah, either stone or windows.
But yeah, they're that court. They're yeah, those look like windows.
Yeah, because those are definitely racks for either windows or like quartz countertops and stuff.
Yeah.
Steph, did somebody comment about a playground, or did you just think you saw something?
No, that was Tony UG 113.
Right on the backside of the sports, the gym, it looks like they're where they're putting down.
Looks like a play. I don't know about a tennis court. It's not. I know that's not big enough. Maybe it's big enough for a tennis court.
No, it's probably going to be like a mixed surface for.
Yeah.
Somebody
big
locked
enough.
somebody to lock the kids in and forget about them for a while.
I'm not saying that, but
Then they all go across the street to Chompies and get drunk.
Make sharp edges, they'll be fine.
Let them play inside of let them play inside of the LOX tank. It's got plenty of stuff they could jump over and climb on top of. It's fine.
it's training.
And could it be?
Recycle, yeah. B18, use that. Boom, you've got a jungle gym right there.
Oh, was that you, JS Webb?
Yeah, I was just going to say on keeping those buildings short, it could be also it allows light, a little more light to filter in through those units.
Sure. Could very well be.
Looks like apartments.
I guess that's a good wrap up of Rare West. Oh, that's not where I want to go.
Plus the fact that they've concreted on the way over to the other side now and finally connected it instead of having a dirt road anymore.
Oh,
Where? What?
yeah,
Over here.
Yep, it's all been done.
Is that new this week?
Yeah.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Very good. So that's a good question. What about evacuation on launches? Is this outside an evacuation zone?
Yes,
all outside.
Yep.
it's further away than where everybody goes to watch the launches off to the left of this picture here.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
up-
Yeah.
It's outside the boundary zone. It's on the west side of Raptor's Roost and all those nice places.
Yeah, they sit in here to watch it. Yeah, that's true. That's right. So that's once again for Tony UG.
Yeah, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Alaska, the restricted zone runs just along the east side of that road, which is the left-hand side of the screen as we're looking at the image. The keep out zone is just along the border of that road or a little bit to the east of it.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't looked at one of those pictures in a while.
Yeah,
All right, thank you very much.
yeah, because where it actually is, but since most of that's reserve, I think this is a close public-esque access that you have. So
Even if the zone was over here somewhere, there's no public access in this area, is what you're saying, is it?
yeah,
There's enough cactus in there to make your legs really prickly.
There's Rocket Ranches. There's Dave Avery's favourite little spot.
Looks like a nice fishing spot.
Flies don't cross the border apparently these days. I think we've pointed this out before. They've put markers in the Rio Grande to distinguish that bit of those molecules of water are American water and those molecules are American water. Not Mexican water.
How many of those have cameras on the top of them?
What?
how many don't have cameras?
Yeah.
Let's simplify it.
Serious?
No, those
Ah.
look like what Texas has been doing. Not quite on the official. They're inside the official border.
Just going to say they're not mid-river, which is where the border is.
Mid mean whatever their flood line is.
Eventually, I'm guessing that they'll want to shrink the zone. As they want to shrink the zone for 39A and 37, that they will reduce the area to not include this office and village at some point. There's already the new, mission control in here. There's already some people here. But these are employees, so there might be different rules for employees to general public too. for insurance reasons or whatever.
Well, they
Is
also,
there a-
when they had the explosion with 36, SpaceX was able to everything was guesswork up until ship 36 had its explosion. And because of that, they've been able to reduce the size of the protection areas at Kennedy and here. So we may see some big differences here too.
They've also had some published reports on and that they've done for that they're trying to get NASA to actually believe.
Well, yeah, I think the question we had was about if they would eventually allow people to, like the public, to stand in the village and watch. I don't think that would ever happen.
They
That's
have
just too
people
close.
standing right in front of the office building here. There were hundreds of
Ye-
people out there watching the last launch.
But there's a
General
difference between public and employees.
General public is not going to be allowed anywhere on Starbase inside the village or even currently in the village.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the only place you're allowed is state public land and Highway 4. But
Yeah, and you can't even stay on Highway 4 from Oklahoma south, Oklahoma to the base.
So that's easy. Just make your restricted zone go just past the highway, and then everybody in the village is fine, and that's SpaceX employees only.
There was a question similar to this. Does anyone from Eben Waterman? They're asking, does anybody think the residential development around Starbase is to accommodate a future move of personnel from Cali to Texas?
I mean, they've moved technically their headquarters here. How long they're going to keep Hawthorne open post Falcon is anybody's guess, but there were verified engineering folks who will say if we don't want to live in Texas, they'll keep it open to keep those folks happy because they're pretty much not replaceable.
There was some things in the news that referred to this as SpaceX headquarters this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly because Elon said we're gonna move our headquarters to Texas. But yeah.
I mean, they have already. I mean, they're still a Delaware corporation, but yeah.
But their most important operations financially, in terms of Falcon, are mostly home based in California, aren't they?
Yeah, it's at Hawthorne. Then Starlink, they have a ton of stuff up in Washington.
They're a Texas corporation now.
They are also supposed to be building some luxury housing on the north side of Brownsville somewhere that we've never seen any pictures of. I'm not sure where it's going in at. That's for more of their executives and stuff to come over here instead of being in California.
Yeah, there's a whole host of.
Isn't there a fair number that still commute by hovercraft across from the port on the other side?
Yeah, there's one of the guys that posts on X regularly that commutes on the hovercraft.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, the thing to remember that the living quarters on Port Isabel and South Padre Island are very limited.
Hovercraft.
The amount of housing they could legitimately get down this far is going to be very limited, especially how many thousand people do they employ?
And like you said, certain people don't have the ability to move, and those people they want to keep. They're going to have to keep something going on in California, I guess.
Well, they are also.
I guess the main thing is they've actually changed the business address. I think that was more what they were trying to do, wasn't it? Just get the actual business out of California for better. It's better for their business in some way.
Yeah, for tax reasons.
They are also getting rid of their 737 I saw this week and buying a 757 to replace it because it's bigger for hauling people back and forth.
Are they going to get Trump's 757?
Have we figured out what this building and everything is going to be used for just yet?
It's what
Border
Border Patrol, Department of Homeland Security,
Gotcha.
Immigration, Customs. That
The 757 they got, the article I saw said they pulled one out of mothballs somewhere.
there's so
depending
many
on
in
how
that
you
desert.
figure it, you're looking at 186 to 234 passengers in a two-class layout.
The old 7A might have nearly ran out of cycles too for passengers.
Speaking of Border Patrol, there's one right there.
Yeah, it's one of my neighbors used to commute from California into Texas. So
Are these different to ICE? Is that a different department?
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
Cool. I'll leave that there for now. Thanks.
Yeah.
So here's some of that power pole moving. It hasn't seemed to have done much. Looks like they're actually still doing work along Highway 4 to do that road extensions, or maybe just
I mean, I don't know if anybody looked at all the docs. I think Event Dude and I posted, but yeah, there's two distinct projects going on for Highway 4, not including all the utilities.
Yeah, there's road widening plus there's a duplication eventually.
Yeah. Well, there's areas that have to go through the more strict environmental review, and then that's being treated as one, and then there's the one that doesn't require as much.
Is that where the wetlands are a bit closer to the highway?
Yeah. There's one section that they were going to build, basically, I think a 4 or 8 mile viaduct. One of the alternatives.
There's places along that highway where water is up 4 or 5 feet away from the road all the time. You're not seeing it in this picture at all, but there's places where water gets up really close to the road.
Like right here is one of this whole section is.
Yeah, but all the way back to Brownsville, there's places where there's a 40, 50 foot wide area that comes right up to the road that's just water and goes back out. Over by Massey's, there's some on the other side of Massey's in different places.
Yeah. These are all the very much more environmentally delicate lands that are going to slow down this part of the project quite a bit.
There was one thing in that last picture that we can see that relates to another part of our site, though. We can actually see one of the tiny homes being moved on its way out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that in a second for sure. Thanks, Matt. Looks like there's some wet areas here and there. This is the highway.
It's waterlogged. The water table's like just below the surface. It's a marsh.
Yeah, another thing you can actually see in that picture is a lot of the power poles that just have tons of water around them, and they're actually doing the drilling underneath them currently.
You just passed a good example of what I was talking about. See that green? No, go back to where you were and look at the green water on the other side of the road and see how part of it comes right up to look at that one part of it that goes right up to the road.
Yep. That's that algae bloom last year, or that leafy stuff, whatever it was that sprouted.
Water hyacinths?
Yeah, water hyacinth.
Yeah.
Yeah, except not last year. This is about probably 4 years old, I think. Let me have a look. I'll tell you in a second how old it is. Yeah, it's old. I wonder, is Google Earth more current?
Nope.
All right, sorry, you were saying about a tiny home. Yeah, is it in this photo?
is in the Rio West photo, or as you can see one on the way out.
Yeah, I think we talked about that on the show and tell the other night.
Yep, you can see it on the road right there.
Now, did we come to the conclusion?
Oh,
Try again, Todd.
Are they out completely gone, or are they going to a different site where they're putting them, setting them back up?
I think that's the one thing we haven't figured out is where they're going yet.
Well, they're not going here. A couple might go here, but so far they haven't added any more here.
Yeah, and Mauricio took a bunch of shots of the surrounding area around the airport and stuff as he was taking off, and I checked through those extensively, and I don't see any lots or anything that are starting to accumulate them, so I'm not really sure where they're going.
That's the executive housing on the north side of town.
I was going to say, I did see one certain area that was getting some really nice homes built that could be that executive area that you're talking about. Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know how far along that is. It may just be that they bought the property. They may not have even started building yet.
Right.
I just checked the timelines on those photos for you, Steph. They're all stamped April of 24 in that area, in the Starbase area. Nothing past April of 24 for Google Earth.
I have a Google Earth as well.
Correct. You are, my friend. I just zoomed in real close and then just worked back and forth with the date and time bar, and as far as you get is April of 24. Wrong side of the world.
Well, I won't worry. I won't worry about that then. Only for you. It's the right side of the world for me. Hang on, man, I've got to turn my screen upside down. Hang on.
Cheeky bugger.
Oh, that's better. So yeah, lots of steel still being staged over here. I guess we're still going to see a ton more. I think they're not even a third of the way through the steel yet. And there's where's the other site? The Brownsville site's in here somewhere too, I think. Oh, the photos we've got in here. Oh, that's a nice bigger photo. I like the bigger photos coming through from time to time. Brownsville. Oh, here it is here, I think. Yeah, there it is. So I've done a thing this week. I'm running, you're looking at OBS over here. And I'm sharing a different screen in front of me. That was so I could put the, when we were talking about the Sean Giesler images, I could put his watermark up like this. Well, hang on, that didn't work.
Persistent watermark.
Let's try that. I know how to use OBS, trust me. Never mind.
Just wait
All right,
till
where are we?
they'll push out a version that they'll just break everything.
It has a few peculiarities, doesn't it, Matt?
Right.
Can be a challenge some days. Oh, so the Brownsville, yeah. So more steel. I think BJ has all the what's going on here. I think Tom knows every single bit of steel in here, mostly. There's definitely little areas they're putting different bits and pieces. One big erector set, yeah, Meccano set. What someone said before, that's what the jungle gym, yeah, Gigabay. It's a bit of a jungle gym, isn't it? Oh, every time we show that photo, someone says, "What's going on the other side of Mexico of Massey's?" Yeah, it's just a fire break. Me, Zach, whenever I put this photo up, there's always a question: "What's going on? What's going on over here?" Don't worry, I'm not picking on you. I'm just stating it's a funny thing. I'm not picking on you. There's no dumb questions. All questions are fine, and we're very happy to answer them. In fact, they help this show along a lot. The questions. The parking lot. Oh, that's one. Hang on. What's that parking lot? Actually,
Another.
someone said. Go.
No, it's just yet another. It looks like SpaceX is buying these blocks in Brownsville and just.
Somebody had said,
Go on.
somebody had said that was the contractor building Gigabay's parking lot. Those
Called
school
Brown
buses
Parking
are being used by that contractor to haul their people in and out. That yellow school bus up there, yeah. They're not the big luxury buses that SpaceX uses for their employees.
Yeah, but on the lower half of the frame, though, we can go back to the Highway 4 lot and the airport lot and play. Where did this vaporizer come from? And
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that on show and tell. Yeah.
Well, it's probably SpaceX property, but the parking lot is the cars are all the employees for the Gigabay, I think.
Yeah, this, I mean, just from on the further to the right, you can see this is definitely a fairly new. They're just clearing a lot of the brush off.
Yeah.
Could be where those little tiny homes might be going eventually.
Be surprised.
It is owned by SpaceX. Part of this parking lot is in Google Maps.
And it's called brown parking.
Oh, what? Brown
GPS?
parking lot. Oh, brown parking lot. Well, that's kind of apt, isn't it? Is Brownsville called Brownsville because it's the color of... No, I won't say that.
It's because it's on Brown Road. Thanks, event dude.
Some days I gotta remember I'm online. Cool, nice. Okay, let's move on. What do we got? The concrete lot. Probably not much exciting going on there yet.
Looks pretty sparse, actually.
So let's move away from that area and go over to Sanchez again. I think. Let's see, where are we? Too many windows open again.
Actually, Brownsville was named for Major Jacob Brown, who died in 1846 during the war with Mexico. And so it honors a Mexican-American war hero, is how Brownsville got its name.
Well then, with all due respect, I'll retract my previous crude statement. And good on you, Mr. Brown.
Is that when Texas was flirting with being their own country?
I know, but if it's anything like Queensland, it is its own country in a way.
Matt did say he wanted me in here for historical references.
No, I'm not. I was just asking if that was because the whole Texas U.S. annexing is interesting. The Mexican American War and all of that. So, yeah.
I was just reading on some of that stuff. It really is interesting. Like, you could not be the president of Texas for more than 2 terms, but there was an unlimited term as long as you skipped a term. It's just really weird how they wanted to do it, but yeah, it didn't last long.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same that the Russian Federation adopted for Putin to skirt their laws.
When I was down in San Antonio in 97 for the World Conference, I said, if Quebec ever wants to separate, we'll invite you guys in because Texas has its own Navy by Constitution.
Yeah, there's
All right.
lots of history talk. Was Cumulus... and crew.
we might do that as another show one day. Yeah, just on that, Australia prime ministers can have multiple terms too, but we have compulsory voting, so we're a bit more protected from that. So yeah, 6 thingies. So interesting to see where this goes.
I think both of these are going to be parts of the base of structural test stands, but that's just me.
I like your idea though of this angling here. It suits. Where is it? Over at where? Not here. Oh, why is that window open? Oh, that's last week's. I see. Where? In here. Nope. Oh, where's Massey's gone? Oh, here it is. This frame down here, this angle, it's
Yeah.
seeing it's actually the same angle. I know those do radiate to the center, and no, that's not it. Oh, and there's that. And this, yeah, it looks like they radiate to a center. I'm thinking maybe they look a bit bigger angle. That almost looks like 90 degrees, doesn't it? Whereas
I
this
think
one
it's
not
because
so much.
if we're looking at one of them, I think it's an illusion of making it look like it's a 90. Because if one of them is split, they all should be converging at the center. So since we're looking down, almost parallel with the top one. Oh no, it's too early for that stuff.
Hang on, I've got a ground shot. Hang on.
Just a jump scare of that.
If you look at the two of them together, it looks more 90, but if you look at them individually, they both point toward the center of that circle.
Yeah.
Looks more like a 45-degree angle between them is my own guesstimation. Based on drawing the line true to the center through the axis of rotation.
It's just the warpage of the picture that makes it look like that.
Once again, from Sean Goosler over at Marcus House, there's some ground shots of that particular thing. It's shiny, yummy.
Yeah, this top deck is
thick.
Yeah.
And the other one too is here as well.
It's not as, but yeah.
So, okay, the only thing I'm thinking, I have two thoughts. Number one, those are like holes for some sort of RAM or RAMs. And secondly, if those, I have no clue why, but I'm just kind of putting pieces together. Though, if you go back to the previous image, Stephanie, the what's it called? The angle between the 2 points, to me, looks around 70 degrees, but I could be wrong. Which to me is making me think it's I don't know why, and I'm probably wrong, but it feels something QD related, considering it's 70 degrees apart, or looks to be at least.
The spread of the, and it's on the booster, it's 18 degrees per session from bell to bell. So yeah.
I think there's 10 of these down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these ones, and 6 of those things on top. Not that that means anything, and there's 3 of these things on top. I'm not sure if that means anything.
Those little ones look like I'm lifting on the big piece.
I'm just trying to think of something for it.
Well, QD related would be kind of hard to be because this is going to be, it's not a 9-meter diameter. It's less than that. So it looks like inside the QDs, not outside.
It looks like the bottom inch isn't painted either, so it could be welded to something else.
Yeah. Both of those edges look like they're ready to be welded to something.
Yeah, because if we remember what the 18 was at 2 or 3, it also had the fake inner tubes for simulating part of the transfer tube. So I'm assuming that's one of the only reasons. And like I said before, I'll probably be indulging in a nice crow mule, but
Okay,
yeah,
okay, now we've gone.
and then on the right there, Steph, is those all look like they're going to be for the grid fin tests.
Good fin test.
I thought sure that those were steel kayaks to go back and forth to Port Isabel.
I thought they were teeter totters for the playground. Just get the kids on there, and what could go wrong?
They look like the little
thought they were-
pieces from Battleship.
I thought they would look like like robot fingers. They're gonna add the claw back to Pad 2 because they know that was a superior design.
Okay, Mr. Claw.
The claw.
I guess someone's got to miss it.
It's interesting, those kayak things, the appendages that come off the top, two of them are identical and the third one's opposite hand.
Yeah,
Because they're for the Griffins.
yeah, because the center, the single, and then you have the two parallel ones.
And the two parallel ones look beefier because they'll have to be because they hold the whole weight of the booster, don't they? Yeah, plus some fuel.
And they also have more rooms for actuations. But yeah, all three on their tips, they have the places for three actuators.
Oh, I see. So that's the actuator rotating them here.
Yeah, so you have two shooting off at 90, and then you have the center one. So they're all orthogonal to each other.
What if these weren't for testing though? They probably are, but like, what if they were just actual components for the vehicle that have been left out because they're massive?
I mean, this is sort of their staging, pre-Massey staging areas. And when they were building them, I don't know what in the vehicle they would need to engineer with that strength.
Most things in the vehicle are stainless, aren't they, too?
Yeah, and the vehicle is getting its strength from geometry, not from sheer mass, for the most part.
We doubling up on RGV logos now?
Oh, sorry. There you go. No, because I had Sean's image. Sorry, I forgot about you having yours. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yours? Wow.
No, I mean on his screen. Oh, I can see it on them. I can see it now. Yep. All right. Well, I'll just delete that image. Gone. All right. Cool. Yeah. So there's something to look out. Those things. Yeah. That's, I don't know whether it's coincidental or not that these are here in the Massey's sort of area. This is sort of, I don't know, loosely being Massey's stuff. I don't know whether that's anything to do with, maybe that's to do with, at Massey's, something still to do with even those, maybe in this thing, Alex, in the other can crusher. Where is it? Oh, I'd love to see him use the birdcage again.
That was the other thing where it's small enough that it almost looks like it could be for a nose cone. The other big,
Thought maybe that thing.
Or into the old birdcage proper. Because the other two rods coming up also could be for like all their header tanks, and there's a lot of things. Could throw against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. Well, this thing.
I think this is.
Go on.
I was just gonna say I think this is gonna be this specific component is gonna be something that we all eat crow on, because I don't think I think we're all a bit stumped on it, to be honest.
See,
That's why I say it's a breakover.
the fun is you have to put your name on it out front
It's
and early.
HLS. It's clearly an HLS airlock. an HLS breakover device. Yeah.
Yes.
I did have one crazy idea, and I didn't want to say it because it sounds so stupid in my head, but I don't know. Maybe it's like, you got 10 holes. I don't know the distances between them, but imagine if you had some sort of like arms that kind of went out and then could connect to the clamps on the launch mount, and then that would be kind of a dance floor. But then I thought dance floors so you can access the booster, and if you're attaching to the clamps, there's no point in having a dance floor. So
Actually, I looked at 4 months ago. The one with the 10 on the bottom and the 6 actually is more like what they put under 18.1 or 2, whichever the one with the that was on the OG modified can crusher. And Alex, yeah, your 10 would sort of line up a bit with the middle ring.
Yeah, it kind of
Oh, yeah.
screams booster thing to me because of the 10, but I mean, and they're particularly circles, which is also sort of a funny thing. Oh, there's an access this side as well as that side too. I didn't notice that before.
Yeah, and it was annoying that again, like looking at from the top down view, looking at those the two I-beams sticking out of that top piece. If you expanded that, I would bet good money that they would go to the QDs, and I have no reason why there would be correlation, but I'm just saying it looks eerily like it.
If they are, it's reminiscent though of what they did to the can crusher with the upper ones. It also could be heading towards the Lux tank. But yeah, I put in Patreon Lounge one of the images from, gosh, I forgot how long ago. Oh, I know, I can look at the date, Alex. Don't be an idiot.
It's been 7 years.
August 29th is when that picture was. I don't know if you go back that far in life stuff. In live, not in life.
Oh yeah, I can do anything. Well, no, I've just downloaded your image. That'll do.
Yeah.
Gotta find it now.
I love having slow Wi-Fi. It's like I opened it in my browser and it's like every single line of pixels. There we go. I can see it on your screen.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's under 18.3 right now, yeah?
Yes. That was where they had the 6 actuators for transfer tube.
How'd you bring that up so quick? You're amazing.
You know how far back I was like, oh, 18.2 or 3, whatever that is. Wait, it rolled out in the middle of September? These booster
Time flies
tests
when you're cooking.
Yeah.
Are they embeds?
Aren't the embeds connected to each other? Like it's a circle that's folded in half?
I think they paint embeds white, do they?
Pieces?
Yeah, the last couple of embeds for the round tanks of the ASU were 2 halves and painted white.
Okay.
But they've pulled out. Those are, just their spacers. Or alignments.
I have some non sequitur questions that are still about Starbase, but not necessarily on the topic we're on.
Oh, look, the whatchamacallit's catch the rail pads for pad scrap. That black one, those 2 black frames on the side, up or to the left, and down slightly. Yeah, that's one, and that's the other one.
What did pads? No, they're for the new pad scrap. Pad scrap
Yeah.
2.0.
Exactly.
Why call them Pad B, Pad Scrap?
That's pad bond. Pad scrap is pad A.
Whatever. I thought aren't those for the extensions that have been added onto
Yeah, but for
Pad B?
pad B already has its extensions installed.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Slow today.
Get with the program, dude.
Blame it on the
been
internet.
a long day.
Just blame it on the internet. You have slow internet, you said.
Yeah. Slow internet. Thank you. Someone's in my corner.
Dial-up died in the 90s, man. Get with it.
AOL just finally died, so.
56 kilobit, 36 kilobit. Was it 36, 56?
Unless you're PEP.
Hey, now they're gigabits.
You had some questions, Indy?
I do. The first one is from Severin. They're asking, why don't they horizontally build and assemble starships?
I could answer that.
There you go.
Basically, starships. Well, they're not very structurally sound when they're horizontal. They're designed to be for the vertical loading. Like most rockets, but rockets like New Glenn and I believe Falcon 9 use orthogrids and they use internal structures to support them, whether it be vertically or horizontally, whereas Starship is just rings and stringers in order to kind of maximize efficiency in terms of their structure, because they don't necessarily want to have to transport them horizontally, which is of course going to be an issue when it comes to you're moving it over the ocean. But yeah, and for its size, kind of obviously we saw them. They used to flip the common domes for sleeving, but that was a very long time ago. I'm not sure if they still do it, but having to flip from horizontal to vertical for something so large would be quite difficult, I think.
They're utilizing the finished structure for strengths. So if this is really a wacky, Steph would probably know. Like if anybody's ever built like a balsa airplane and then you stretch skin over it, then once you have the whole shape, you get the strength. So having the rings and everything vertical before and all the stringers are in place, it's much stronger in a vertical plane than horizontal, since all the forces are vertical through the bulk of the structure. But once the assembled rocket is complete, when you look at the transfer tube, when it's on its breakover stand, that it had almost zero flex across the entire length of it. That's more or less how the booster and ship will be. And take a step back.
Once they're built, they're going to have the strength to be able to lay them horizontal, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Look at Flight 1.
We can do somersaults and all sorts of crazy things.
10 kilometers.
I'd love a documentary on how they fixed Booster 7's transfer tube. That would be fantastic. I'd love a deep dive on that.
I was going to say, give it time. You probably will have one. And Seven is very appreciative of your answers, all of your answers. So thank you. And then Roger asks,
hang on.
Right.
And Brian, I'll try to slow down my movements again. I got a bit crazy on my movements there. Thanks, Indy.
Yeah, no problem. Roger asks, do you think the mega bays will be demolished and the Giga Bay will be expanded over where the old bays were?
Yes.
Also is likely.
It's going to be so ugly.
So as a guess, yes. I think they were even making these sections removable for when they do that. These sections seem to be built a bit differently. That's a word, I'm telling you.
You think they'll take
Okay,
out both bays?
Oh yeah, they're not long for the world.
Yeah, I think Zach's speculation was that maybe they would keep Mega Bay 2, but still probably unlikely.
Fair enough. Olaf asks, what's the estimated cost of an expendable ship booster? How much more expensive than Falcon? And then he says, cheers.
Event Dude actually answered that. I think it's 100 million for a Starship and 30 odd million for a Falcon 9.
All right. And the last question that I have is from PNW Johnny. What about in addition to the launch tour? What about in addition to the launch tour where it's going to be the interface for the HLS crew entry?
Are they referring to that the grey piece that we were kind of annoyingly looking at over in Sanchez?
Tis a good question you asked.
They said launch tower too, not launch tour.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right.
Sorry, my bad.
It's no, you're right. It's just that it's a typo. Autocorrect said tour rather than tower. I'm guessing.
You're probably right. Sorry about that.
Well, we're not going to have any cruise stuff here, I don't think, at Boca, but it doesn't mean they're not going to start doing stuff for cruise stuff here, though. But I'm pretty sure all the cruise stuff would be going through Florida.
Probably not till V4, V5 vehicles as well.
Yeah.
It'll take quite a bit.
Sorry, Indy.
Yes, sir.
It's Cumulus. Can I clarify something? The question was they want to know the difference between an expendable Falcon 9 and a reflown Falcon 9 cost-wise?
So what's the estimated cost of an expendable ship and booster? And how much more expensive than Falcon?
Okay. Don't have details on that, but I do have the details on the Falcon. Eslon has supposedly reported a Falcon 9 launch with the used booster fairings cost SpaceX $15 million, which is $10 million for the second stage, and booster refurb, which cost them $250,000. So they charged $69.75 million to launch a Falcon. They save $32 million every time they land the first stage. If the rocket were brand new, it'd be $32 million for the first stage, $10 million for the second, $6 million for the furring, and $2 million for fueling and operations. So $50 million in hardware and launch fuel costs out of every $69 million they charge for a Falcon flight, if it was a brand new rocket and they were going to expend it. Hope that helps the person out.
Thanks.
It's very detailed. I like.
Yeah,
They need to get a team of jet washers. Oh, sorry.
Cumulus is quite the historian there. All right,
I was
so
just saying.
I'll go ahead, Alex K.
I was just saying they need to get a team of jet washers for that roof. Oh god, it's making me twitch just looking at the.
They have done that before. We've seen them do that in the past. It must be about time to do it again. And it takes ages. It takes weeks. They just do sections at a time. And all the gunk runs all down here. It looks crazy when they do it.
I need to finish that stinking roof off, too.
What's not finished?
The white insulation on the back.
Oh god. That was how have they not done that? That's the first thing they did.
It might not be necessary. There's, I don't know, maybe it's not necessary in there. Maybe it has got air conditioners, I suppose.
Yeah. Aren't those just spare HVAC pads?
That's not as air conditioned as this area.
Wasn't the tile factory back on the left-hand side and the press on the right-hand side?
Yes. Yeah, the new tile factory is in here, and yeah, the press. Remember when it was getting built, the press was in here somewhere, and it's massive too. That big gigapress.
What side is that? The northern or what?
Yeah, that's the northern side, northwest.
Oh, so yeah. No, you still get quite a bit of heat gain.
So hang on, that's east, isn't it? That way.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's north. Yeah, that's opposite to me. Where I'm living, my left is east right now. I'm looking south right now, but that doesn't matter. That's the minor thing. For the longest time, I had this completely backwards. That was the launch site, and this was Browns orbiting. Yeah, I finally got my bearings correct. Sorry.
So not only are you upside down, you're backwards. Is that what you're telling us?
Oh yeah, and I don't know. That's why I don't get my left and rights. That's what's going on.
Oh, you're standing on your head, looking in the mirror.
That's why I get my lefts and rights mixed up. You see, that's exactly right, Alaska.
PK.
It's Philly kids. Don't blame them.
Oh, Philip, sorry.
That was done with intention, PK. And while we're looking at photos, we want to thank Peanut for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, Peanut.
My pleasure
I
to
always
take the questions on the history. I leave this modern stuff to you younger folk, because you guys know this way better than I do, so I'm here to learn.
There's a Pacific Northwest UT. I think I've noticed you in chat for a long time, PNW UT. There's a lot of people in here. Yazada, there's quite heaps of people in here I see around the traps all the time. The press, I just noticed a quick question. The gigapress, Alex, do you want to explain that a little bit?
We only saw the press pit, so I don't know what they're actually stamping. Yeah, it's between the loading dock extension and the office building-ish is where the pit is. And I'd have to revisit it to actually see what...
Did we ever catch it getting installed?
They assembled it in the, I guess, what is it, Starlink build, whatever the building off to the east is where they put most of the frame together, and like when SpaceX moves stuff in, they're very good at people missing it. So yeah, I don't even think anybody saw it roll out.
And along the same lines, Brian's asking, did we ever figure out what the pit press was for? What does it make?
They stamp a lot of things. Not sure if they're just stamping stringers or if they've moved on to stamping the domes yet. But
it's probably a multi-tool fixture, right?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping we would have seen, how many dies and how easy it is to change your die sets. Just if they're just stamping stringers all day long, that would save. Because then you can constantly change how much of the material you're leaving in place and how much for lightning and all sorts of fun stuff.
I may be pressing these, I guess.
I haven't followed how those are showing up, but they're coming already.
In amongst the airframe, there's heaps of all those little brackets and stuff. There's heaps and heaps and heaps of components, and maybe some of them are getting pressed as well.
Yeah, a lot of them. I mean, you'll load the spool of steel on one end, and that just pulls it through, and keep your hands well away from that. But yeah, for the amount of stringers and variations of stringers they make, I would probably assume that's the bulk, and depending on, that's why I need to go back to see if it's how many, if they could do a quick tool switch on it too, because the tooling for punching out a bunch of stringers versus punching out domes would be quite a bit different. But yeah, you can see right at the center there is the is the cooler, the chiller for part of its hydraulics. Yeah.
These versatile, these. Well, they're a basic heat exchange, aren't they?
Yeah. They're all over the place if you look for them.
Oh, what's in the box? Oh, that's a Raptor transport machine, is it?
See, that's what I was
Oh.
saying, and then it's like it looks too.
Sitting on something else. Maybe there's something stacked underneath it. Maybe even. Maybe there's two
Yeah.
of them stacked.
And
How
these are the
you were saying?
areas.
What does it
What's
look
that?
too much like? You were saying it looks too much like, and then the word cut out. What does it look too much like?
It like what Steph was saying. It looks like one of the RVAC transport rings parts of it.
I know exactly what it is. It's the
Go for
sorting hat from Harry Potter.
And yeah, these are with these these flat contrast and compression. It's next to impossible to tell if that's one palette or if there's two palettes stacked on each other. Because I've been burned so many times going through these photos, and it's like, oh wait, that wasn't just one piece. That was actually two pieces.
Oh, it's all part of the fun.
Yeah, it's one of the things grumble when I complain about, you know, Nyquist theorem and stuff.
Yeah, I only gets real annoying when someone says this is definitely this because of something, but and then it's like, but hang on, you could be right, but it's not definitely that. Until we know better, it's not definitely that.
If they say I'm convinced it's this, that's fine. But it's when they go, this is definitively what it is. It's like, okay.
And I'm going to do that in a minute. The launch.
Yes. And yeah, I like on the right side where they had all the fan coils for the individual units all packaged tightly together.
Oh, sorry. Say it again, Alex. Sorry, what? Sorry.
The heat exchangers, right at the where there's like tandems back to back on the roof of the parking by the apartment. Yeah, upper center on there's like 15 of them in a row, 10 of them in a row. It looks like
right hand side of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, that one for the individual units. It looks like they're gonna just have a common chiller, and then each of the units will have their interior fan coils hanging off of it.
So a split system with the condenser up here and the evaporators down there.
Yeah, but it's probably not a DX system. It might be.
Oh, more like just like water chilling through a radiator, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of another, but it might. They look looks a little dense for DX, sort of, but I feel it might. One more thing to look into.
Is that big enough though to keep all that area?
There's going to be more. There's going to be more of them. Because there's a big package units for the common spaces with the 4 fan holes on the top. The big, yeah. Now, top of frame, right in the center, down on the lower right, right there. That's one of the. Oops, yeah, where your hand is. That's one of the package units for probably just the hallways and stuff.
Yeah. We don't see these so much in Australia these days. It's mostly reverse cycle stuff over here with their little
It might.
compressor units.
It looks
outside.
very much. Mitsubishi has a bunch of. They have the large compressor, and yeah.
Cool. All right. Where are we? 2 hours? Is that right? We've done 2 hours? Okay, any other questions
about,
before I move on?
No questions at the moment. We've got them all.
All right, time for speculations.
Woohoo!
Okay, before I go there, though, just quickly here. I was talking with Lawrence the other day, and between us, we noticed, I think this one was actually my one, but the next one I'm going to say is definitely Lawrence. But this looks like these work platforms are in fact powered by hydraulics. And you might have seen them get moved by hand the other day, but if these hydraulics over here aren't hooked up yet, these are able to be moved by hand because there's no oil in the line. But once they fill the lines up with the oil and hook up the
Where's the
hydraulics,
cylinder?
Sorry?
I don't see a cylinder here.
There's a cylinder, and there's its push rod, and there's its hydraulics. And that's its attachment point. There's its hinge. And on the other side too, there's the actuator. Its mount.
Yeah, I've been looking at some ground shots just now of underneath where that hardware is, and you can see various pipework and conduit going up to 2 points either side of the of that location.
It'd be nice if it wasn't. Have they automated the pins though? Do they have the block?
I think I've actually seen in some other ground shots as well. I think I have seen maybe a hose or like a pneumatic line of some kind going to at least one of those pins that holds the access platforms in place.
That'd be good because one of these. Yes, I really like the design because when it's closed, it's the whole no parts, the best part for like the railing and stuff.
Okay, speckledy-deckledy time. So, what have we got here, do you think? To me, Lawrence came up with this, that these are in fact three-phase electrical lines, and this is a three-phase motor, and this is in fact an electrical actuator. And I'll just show you some little images. This is not what it's like. This just gives you some idea of what it could look like inside. But I think it's more this is obviously much smaller. I think it's more like an outer tube with a thread inside it, and the threaded rod goes inside, and this motor system is sitting over here. And maybe instead of this gearbox, it's actually a planetary gear system sitting inside. This isn't the best image, but it looks like a radial engine. It looks these magnets, whatever they are, they're in radiate around. It looks like a little radial, but it's not obviously. And this not necessarily a shield, but these are numbered. They're numbered. Like I think it says 3, 4, 5, 6 or something around these numbers, and these individual access ports here that access these. So I'm sort of thinking of some kind of stepper motor on a what I call it before, on a planetary gear system to rotate a threaded rod inside that shiny thing. There's a couple of things that point to it. One, there's no hydraulics at this end, When you have the old one had hydraulics on this end as well as this end, because you've got to be able to push the ram back, obviously. And this seal pack on the old rams is massive. So, because it has to be a hydraulic seal, whereas this one only has to be a dust seal. And the difference in diameter here, something I didn't twig to what was going on, but I did notice when I first put it in, the difference between the diameter of this tube and the diameter of the piston was, the shaft, sorry, is quite a bit. There's not as much difference as there was on the older ones. So I'm going to go, like Lawrence was a bit weary to express in case it's wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on the limb for him. So I think he's spot on, to be honest. So 3-phase power in, no hydraulics, no accumulators, stepper motor technology for accuracy, and also, and for a feedback loop rather than any sensors, there's these sensors on the end we've seen now. These new sensors on the end might have something to do with the feedback. Where are they? These sensors. Yo.
Other radio antennas.
Got something for you, Steph. If you could go back to the motor assembly, go to, could that motor assembly be completely around that cylinder and it's driving a rotating worm gear that is the full length of the cylinder? So you basically, yes, but a big gear that, yeah, it does that, but except it does it from the outside. But I'm wondering if the motor completely surrounds that and turns the whole body inside the protective casing, which drives the inner worm gear in and out. So instead of having a small one like this driven from the bottom, they're driving the whole outer sheath, which makes for a much stronger and more precise control of how they extend and retract the central piston, which would also be gear threaded.
Like I just said, I think it's very similar to this system, but obviously much larger, where this threaded rod goes inside the push rod, and this threaded rod is rotated by a motor, but instead of being up here, the motor's on the end here. And instead of a gearbox, it's got a planetary gear sitting in here.
Oh,
fair enough. Thank you.
But
I just did
I could be wrong. So this is another electrical one that doesn't have a motor on the side, but I don't think it's that design either. That's just to demonstrate that they don't have to have their motor on the side. And while I was looking around, I found this is a Tesla bot actuator. Tesla bot actuator. And so see, there's like a rotating nut here, I think, and then this shaft doesn't rotate, obviously, but it has a thread on it that gets pushed in and out through that rotating kept nut, so to speak.
Hey, Steph, do you think
What were you saying, Alex?
do you think that those
Look on
numbers would be
Patreon,
a motor each?
No, there's ground photos and there's a bunch of sensors or small cables when those doors are open heading into it.
I think maybe, Kiwi, that it's some kind of induction motor, and these are the poles, the coils around the outside, and somehow they're using like stepper motor technology, and being frequency driven and all, they can actually count the sine waves going in either direction. They can actually use that to, rather than using like a crankshaft position sensor, they can actually count the cycles of electricity going in for accurate positioning. I was thinking more of like
a ring gear, and you'd have motors surrounding a ring gear.
There's ground photos with those open, and there's.
Are there access hatches on each of the panels?
Yes, on each of those facets.
and line up with each of these. I'm calling them coils for now. They look crazy. I can't show the ground image because I don't have its permission, but they looks just like a radial engine. It looks crazy. It looks awesome.
Because that does taper out too. I mean, that could taper. You could have a gear inside that tapers. Not the gear that tapers, but the taper could house the gear.
Look at the shielding on.
That's why I'm wondering if that armature goes all the way around the piston and turns the whole thing.
No, that has to stay stationary as far as rotation.
Stationary, but I'm thinking the white piece turns the gear inside your stationary hub.
The white piece is just shielding.
Okay.
They did the exact same thing with the actuator on pad A on both of them.
Okay, thanks, Alec.
Yeah.
Does thinking about how quickly it has to move help? And how big the throw is?
It doesn't have to move that fast. It only has to be at the right place at the right time. They don't come, even when they're landing, I notice, they don't come whoosh straight away in. They come in gently. Anyway, what we're failing to see here is anything to do with any kind of hydraulics, including a hydraulic seal at this end, hydraulic pipe work for this end, and hydraulic pipe work in here. That does not look like hydraulics at all, especially from when the ground shots when they were getting before this was installed. So, like I'm pretty well, like you said before, I shouldn't say I'm convinced about blah, but this is one thing that looks horribly looks like a, well, how's it go? Looks like a pig, smells like a pig.
And there are no actuator tanks, right?
No actuator tanks.
And
Alex, hang on. Let me have a look. Unless there's one of Sean's, hang on. No, the Gazer might have. No, I'm not. No, I don't know for sure. Accumulator tanks. Yeah, down here they've taken accumulator tanks off, and they've been moving, the chopsticks. So, like, look, there's a chance I could be wrong, and Lawrence could be wrong. Whatever. It's not me. Sorry, this is all Lawrence's idea, but I happen to stand by him 100%. I think he's spot on right. And it makes sense. So going back to that a funny thought I had was being similar to a Tesla bot's actuator. Maxar is basically a gigantic Tesla bot, probably runs the same similar software, and maybe it's like, I don't know, a cross between a Tesla car, Tesla bot, and a launch tower.
Software engineer, no, it's completely different software.
Well, just things like position and feedback loops might be similar.
Yeah, any PID you could say that about any positioning PID, and probably servos and not steppers, but
that's okay. I'm still allowed to think it's a gigantic Tesla bot.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, and if it is, it's probably servos and not steppers, because you definitely, with something like this, would want feedback loop, not counting clicks.
Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of something underneath. There may be some kind of position. That's why I thought maybe these on the ends here, not only just an area, but maybe an INS unit in here would maybe give them enough instrument navigation system, maybe able to give them dead reckoning enough with sensors to use that as a positioning sensor.
Mm-hmm. The feedback could be almost in the actuator about its position versus there's enough slap and vibration in those arms.
Do you have a shot of its counterpart on the other side, Steph?
See, this doesn't seem to, it has end switches, doesn't seem to have a position. I thought maybe they, like even a crankshaft position sensor, much like stepper motors have, could be the feedback as well. But I don't know enough about that side of things on the software development side of things to know that's true, but still things definitely not hydraulic. No, there's not a good shot from us from the other side, really. There is a shot like here to show it closed up. I think it sort of has a stop at that end. Electrics, baby. It's the way of the future.
I was just thinking a ground shot from the other side looking up at it would give us a look at what goes on underneath. I didn't know Sean Giesler had grabbed anything for us or not.
I tried to find big ones, Alex, actuators, but I didn't find one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Look at that one. Thank you. Yeah, so a gear system over here, and somehow that motor is somehow, outside of this perhaps. And this is like the piston that runs backwards and forwards on the that goes outside, and then there's a case over the whole thing.
There's a motor inside of that. But yeah, there's. I mean, kilonewtons on that, but it's more of the packaging. The only reason I.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So these coils in here
Which
could be what we're seeing on the outside of this, because it's much bigger. The slightly different design of motor here is about all that's probably mainly different. What else they got?
I know it's like Colleen from SF has a image from a few days ago was panel 4 open, and there's. I mean, if I were guessing, those look like little control cables plugged in to the side of
Is
something.
that on X? Was that on
X? These were. I forget what is there.
Member only.
Well, yeah, level 2 or whatever. Which.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rich is asking, is there a photo of the left arm's piston?
That's what I'd like to see.
That one's very elusive. The other thing that supports, and I'm surprised you didn't point this out, Steph, because this is definitely your wheelhouse. If you zoom into the 3 pipes going in, there's a green ground lined with them. So, and yeah, SpaceX and those 3 flex hoses look very much how SpaceX is moving their using for conduits. Actually, those might not be cables. That looks like a bundle from the ground photo of a bunch of small cables, actually.
There's a good ground photo before they hook this cable up, and there's just three. It looks like I'm a bit. Sorry, hang on. Generally, with electrics this big, with cables that big, you don't use a plug ever. Pretty rare. Like the biggest welders are nowhere near this big.
No, what I'm saying is there's a ground photo where it looks like each of those bundles is a collection of flex hoses bundled together into a cable.
Yeah, unless this is a hydraulic motor over here, which could be like you're saying with that other image you shared. That maybe that's the only. But I'm convinced it's electric. That could be some kind of mechanical hydraulic motor rather than electric motor, I guess. I could give you that, I guess. Which still would mean you don't need accumulators, but
I mean, they make combo electro-hydraulic where they have it as a self-contained unit so that you don't have.
Aventudes points out that they also just added an electric box on the arm.
Oh yeah, they're redoing. That's the other curiosity, is they're just completely revamping the power going to the tower.
so although there's a chance it could be hydraulic motor, I'm still leaning towards what Lawrence is saying is it's electric, to be honest. I take that speculation as you will, but I don't know we're going to get any actual confirmation. Sooner or later we'll get actual confirmation, I guess. But yeah, I thought that
It'll be in the documentary young Alex K asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You you don't have the 20-sided dice you can roll to get the final determination right now?
Wait, I might.
Magic
Actually.
8 Ball?
Give me 2 seconds to find my 20 die.
Well, come on, so just have an app on your phone. Shake it. Come on now.
And a half hours. Cool.
Right. Rolling it.
Huh.
17.
Yeah, definitely, definitely
Ooh,
electric.
17.
So enjoy
Oh,
the
sorry.
electric
My bad.
actuator.
What'd you do?
What do you reckon, chat? Let's
I don't
have
know, I thought I
electric or
was-
hydraulic. Put electric or hydraulic in chat. Let's see what chat reckons.
Yeah, we can do a poll. Also, you know what's mild? Well, I say mildly, it's incredibly infuriating. The fact that all the clamp doors aren't the same color. That's
Come on
it,
now. It wouldn't look like Sarlacc if they were all the same color.
but it just tapped something in my brain, in the back of my brain, and whenever I look at this launch mount, it
Just wait till they're roasted.
exactly a nice marshmallow brown. That'd be nice. Black.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to use that image, Alex. That's all.
No, that's just when I was saying that if you look closely, those 3 lines going in, it's a bundle of individual hoses, not one conduit. At least it doesn't look like it to me.
Is it that, or is that? Oh, I can see the green line, or is it stainless steel braiding?
We should probably talk about this after the show, since nobody
Offline.
knows what we're talking about.
Just that there. It's hard to tell. That's a
Yeah.
Oh, is that? Oh, it looks like that's been released. It's an image from NSF that those there could look like. I see what Alex is saying. That could look like bundles of smaller cables, but I think it could look like stainless steel shielding too. There was talk it could be electric hybrid, hydraulic hybrid, but I'm still not seeing any sort of hydraulics for this end of the ram. If the ram's hydraulic, you'd need to see something different at this end. You need to see a much bigger seal, and you'd need to see you'd need to see hydraulics at this end as well. The only thing I can think is if it's hydraulic, this is actually a hydraulic motor rather than electric motor, but I'm pretty sure it's electric.
Event Dude's suggesting that it's braided flex pipe.
Yeah, the braided flex pipe, but or braided flex shield. There's quite often, especially in environments like this, you put stainless steel shielding, which is braided shielding around the outside of electrical cables.
There's just some shots that makes it look not like a braided jacket.
Sure.
And if 2451, I think from this week, I mean, the actuators, the OG pad scrap actuator, there's a lot of similarities to this and the other one. I'm just saying.
Still,
That's
this
a
is
good
different.
analogy, Alex, right there.
This is
What's
different
that?
in the fact that there's a major oil seal here and there's a hydraulic lines going there, which we don't see on the new ones.
But they also have the raceways on the body for them to attach that at a later date on the other one.
But they're already moving the chopsticks as it is.
Are they moving with those, or are they? There's a.
Oh, good. I appreciate you being the devil's advocate. We need a devil's
Oh yeah.
advocate.
And that'll learn. Darts for letting you be the face of his idea. I mean, I hope that's, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
So it makes sense to go electric. I can see it working awesomely. Anywho,
I've put a picture up in the Patreon lounge. Ah, you found it.
yes. And I think I'm still going to go to my limit. They're going to brace one of the areas of wobble in the sticks. I think is this vertical tube. I've been harping on about this every week. But I think we may see some bracing onto that, or maybe the other way even, to get that, because even though it's big and strong and whatever, it's compared to the leverage it has, it wouldn't take much of a flex on that pipe to create a decent or some wobble anyway out here.
Have a sprung mass with support at one end, you get that vibrations. It's essentially the whole thing is acting as a spring. It's without putting active dampers on the arm, you're going to keep getting that flex. It's just how materials work.
All right. What else at the launch site?
Did they ever reinstall the accumulator tanks? Rich is asking.
No.
That's
No, and
another
that's-
sign for them no longer being hydraulic.
They were down here, yeah. They're not there anymore. Now, and I mean, they've been moving. My first thought was, because I was doing this to Lawrence the other day too, being the devil's advocate, they don't, even if they were hydraulic, they don't necessarily need the accumulators if they're just moving the arm slowly, I thought. They may only need the accumulators when they use full power on the actuators, whether it be hydraulic.
We
But I
had
don't think-
pictures.
Go on.
Didn't we have pictures of those actuators sitting on the ground over at Sanchez at one point? Does that give us any clue to what they are?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry to throw that rabbit hole in there.
Don't.
After the show.
Let's get this stream to 6 hours, guys. Come on, we can do it.
Oh, we don't tease me like that, Alex. Yeah, no, these were
don't set us up for a good time.
These were like one of the things they snuck in. I don't recall seeing this variation of them, except on the back of a truck, really quickly across Rover One or NSA on SBL, and then one got lifted, and a few days later is the other one, similar. But that's my recollection, and mind you, I don't watch this religiously, so.
Just to change, well, not to change the topic, but to change the topic. You don't need to know, wants to know, will they paint the launch mount, and if so, when?
Painting, yeah, hang on, sorry.
That may be true with those doors too, because look, some of them are painted the same color as the new paint on the launch mount, and some of them are not. They may just not have gotten to all the doors before they lifted them up.
They did quite a bit of tweaking to those. That's probably likely Alaska.
Although I like the fact that they're different colors because it just infuriates so many people.
So it was a question about the launch mount. The launch mount they've been painting. but the
Yeah.
doors, yeah.
They're asking, will it be painted and when?
Well, they've started with it.
For corrosion control, they would, because they're in a very salty environment there.
Stainless steel doesn't need it.
Oh no! I've just looked into the flame trench, and you can see where they've done a shoddy. Wait, or is that? Never mind. I might have overreacted. That might not be bad paint work. if you look up, Stephanie, if you go above the, oh yeah, never mind. It's not. I thought someone had just like slopped on loads of paint above, and it all, kind of flowed down. But no, that's just the phew. That's just the launch mount leg. I was about to go on a full rant there about painting.
It looks like paint dribbles, but I think it's the footing for some platforms under
Yeah.
there. But you're right. It looks like the paint dribbled.
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
I kind of like the slightly shiny, but also very rustic side of the launch mount on the actual GSE bunker side.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that look. I agree.
Maybe
look,
they
there's
could polish it a little bit. But
There's the doors that people said they would never install.
It's the one. It's the one I kept saying. They're gonna have a door there. Oh,
Uh-huh.
no, yeah, it's scrap metal. Like
Uh-huh.
it's.
the,
I don't know. They've put it there because it's clearly load bearing. That's what it is. Like if they were to remove it, the whole launch pad would just collapse. Okay. Give them a break.
The real question is it hydraulic or electric?
The door? Manual. It's diesel electric.
Now they're hidden from sight. You can't see the hamster wheels.
electric over hamster. There you go. They probably won't. To answer that further question, they probably won't paint in here. Yeah, that's probably not the best place to put paint.
There's no real need to. It's going to. We'll have.
Yeah, okay.
They did up until they stopped.
But they used to paint it with ablative paint too, so it would protect it
Correct, Indy. Good
as
one.
best as ablative paint can.
But they're also mild steel. This is stainless steel.
It's that pacification layer is not going to really survive the plume.
What's not gonna?
The chromium pacified layer. You have the chromium oxide that will outmuscle ferric oxide, but you heat it up and it changes which is preferred, and that's why you put a torch on stainless, that it will get a little rusty. Also, yeah.
So it'll turn to not stainless steel, stainable steel.
Yeah, it's the same thing with aluminium, but there's an oxide layer with the chromium and stainless steels that oxidizes first and keeps the iron from rusting.
So does it change just the surface sort of molecules back to just mild steel, or is it still stainless steel but modified slightly?
It's stainless steel. It's the difference is if you heat it and let it oxidize, you can get the iron to rust. It'll get the red color. Meanwhile, the chromium, when it's an oxide, it won't get that rust color. It's the same. It's still oxidized, except one you're having chromium do it rather than the iron rust. Anyway.
Okay, so the crane's laid down. It's going to get it's getting what do you call it on the back, isn't it? What do you call that? The
Derek?
Derek, yeah.
Thought, isn't there? I'm really getting risky because I was a pedantic man with BJ last night, and now I'm scared saying any crane part because paybacks are rough.
Maybe to give a heavy lift, maybe this area needs to be Marvin needs to be set up for a bit more heavy lifting for this area, for some of these things, perhaps.
I saw a crane body coming down the road today. Was that for this, or was it just a smaller crane? Today or yesterday?
Maybe they're not using Marvin, because I saw some boom pieces at one point.
I'm pretty sure Crane Man in Zach's channel said that there was, let me look back a bit, that it was actually, there was a derrick for, let me just double check that. I'm 90% sure there's a derrick for Marvin coming, or has arrived even. I read it this morning. One rod.
I thought I saw the central body of a new crane come down the highway on a truck, but I could have looked at the camera wrong or something.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. On I can show that. Oh, there we go. That I think Crane Man was saying that's a derrick for the 11,000. Let me just double check. Yeah, derrick foot.
Yeah. Man, they left the heavy lift stuff over the Highway 4, the block in.
Yes, that's right.
Now I'm really opening myself for grief.
Is the ASU hardware really that heavy that they need a derrick on that crane?
It could be the extension. I mean, a cold box could be up to, I mean, it's nowhere near their largest one, but their largest one was over 800 tons, like the ones who are putting it Intel up in Ohio. So, I mean, this one could be 400 or 500 tons, and depending how far of a reach and where it is situated on that pad, yeah.
So maybe this is this one's for the SPMTs perhaps, and this one's for the crane. I think also Crane Man was saying.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna need a place for both cranes because you're gonna have to tip it up.
Oh, 2 crane. Okay, yep. Fair enough.
But yeah,
that one closest to the circle got real weird late this afternoon.
Yeah, they're terracing it down here. That's terracing.
No, it's no longer terraced. It's cantilevered from left to right.
What?
Yeah, it got real weird.
I don't even want. Wow.
Right, okay. Yep, that totally makes sense. No.
Oh, when it does this, that means I'm giggling.
The amount they planned these heavy lifts is incredible.
Thanks to Abbott Space. Oh, La Padre. I suppose we should start saying Abbott Space now in our script when we use La Padre's images. Does Abbott actually mean anything particular? Is it like a, what do you call it, a thingy?
Just a rebranding.
Exactly.
Or like advanced video, something digital?
We avidly follow space.
Yeah, that was funny. I watched the premiere of that. Geez, there was some people are funny. People are funny some days in chat, I'll tell you. They were giving Lewis grief in the chat about the name change. I'm like, it doesn't change anything, guys. Relax.
I mean, you got all excited with units measure. Just numbers. I kid.
Yes.
No, I said I kid. Because,
I kid too,
That
but
was
I'm
fabulous.
silly.
Oh,
That was amazing.
that was hilarious.
I think that went over my head somehow. Thanks, Indy.
He said, "I kid," and PK responded because his name is Philakid. So he thought he said, "Hey, kid."
I see. Sorry. Thanks, yeah. Phil Kid, does that mean you're a goat? Greatest of all time? Goat?
Not by any.
He's the goat of architecture.
Yeah, there you go.
We've
Thank
devolved
you.
into brain rot.
And since we're back on this site, and I know that this is brain rot to Alex K, Tony had a question regarding pad 2. It says fire trench,
Yeah,
metal
they
water
put all this-
pipes to the. Oh,
They
go ahead.
put all this shielding on top afterwards.
I think that tank and the Pope stack got lifted out today. I think I saw a note from Vix on that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, yeah. I think it's in Henley's. Oops, wrong screen.
Someone's probably taken that home to stick on their roof.
Looks
I know
like
I
it's been
would.
around the block a few times.
Oh, before I go there, Vix is awesome. She's such a good documentarist. Is that a word?
Documentarian?
Documentarianess. Oh, is this why you're talking about cantilevered?
See how they bridged between the two of them?
That's weird. What?
That's why I said it got real weird this afternoon.
It's a breakover.
You're not wrong.
Well, I did fit another one of them. I'm trying to find that. Oh, there's some more of that crane stuff. Oh, here it is. Is that it? No. Oh, yes, it is it?
Pump stack, I think.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it goes. Bye-bye, Pope Stack. Vix needs to update her watermark. Thank you, Vix. If you're listening, I'm sure you might listen one day on catch up. Thank you very much for your work. Everyone over at RGV, we really appreciate all the work you do with these little clips. We use them quite a lot. All right, enough of that for now. So yeah, that's all gone. I think we saw that start to get really fully decommissioned as soon as we saw these lines here going. They must have already had all this and pretty well ready to go and just needed that last connection before they could pull this one out. As far as I know, as far as we know, this is that system is here now, and that's what you might call Pope Stack.
Doesn't look as cool as the other one.
Well, maybe we call it Cardinal Stack or something.
And it's not that. Its hardware is underneath. You can't see it. You can see the flash tech that stacks
connected to in some of the images off to the side. Yeah, right there's the tip of it. This tank,
so-
For the evening,
this
folks.
tank
I've
that you're
gotta go.
referencing.
Family wants me for supper. Cheers.
Yeah.
See ya.
So
The-
no pipe stack. They're using that system instead of pipe stack, yeah?
No, the vent is on top, but the horizontal tank, I need a better view of its plumbing, but it does not look like it's the same analog to the tank that was rolled away.
I couldn't even trace. I think it was that. It might be that. I couldn't. I was trying to trace the new lines they brought in. I couldn't work out it was that one or one of these. And it almost looks like one of the two they brought over from the methane pump actually exits on this side.
They'll make a big loop.
I don't know that I knew that vaporizer was there before. Is that braced? What's going on there?
Possibly. Or no, those I think are vents out of the tank, and it's just the angle that makes it look like.
Yeah.
Do those not have to be oriented in any certain way to still work?
It's just a serpentine tube with liquid that slowly evaporates, so not really. You wouldn't want it in position that it couldn't drain. Else you'll get, but it shouldn't hurt it too bad.
Without a fan, would they be more efficient vertical or horizontal?
I mean, most of those are designed for vertical convection, but if they're nowhere near the capacity that it can radiate, then it shouldn't make much difference.
True. Yeah. Like if that vaporizer was sitting, say, in this system, they may only need a much smaller one than what they've got underneath it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, it's like the high pressure vaporizers they have. It's a skew next to the vertical tank on the left. Well, there's some over here too, but yeah, that's one of their.
I wonder if those three that we saw over the brown parking lot are the ones that still need to be installed, or if those were the ones that were damaged from the last time.
I didn't think they had the cross hatching on them, so I thought they were the old ones.
Yeah, it could be.
All that extra cross bracing for strength.
Not that one. I think they're ones they removed from here.
I think those were the four that were sitting by the in Sanchez forever.
Ah, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Hang on, that's not it. Hang on, where is that? Ah.
Have to go back.
And were they?
They've been bouncing all over the place here. I haven't seen them for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of those one of those tanks, I think, was one of the tanks that was sitting over here for a while as well.
Over here, horizontal for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Man, they store stuff everywhere.
They have a lot of stuff.
Like these things, these pressure units. Well, there's actually still one here. Oh, two is it still here? I thought they stopped using these. Oh, you can't see it on that screen, sorry. I've trimmed the edge. Where are they? They're just here. No. Oh, now you can see them. In ABS, I've cropped this image a little bit, so you can't see my film strip down here anymore. Good stuff. All right. So where to next?
I may have missed it. Did we show where all the tiny homes were being taken out?
I believe so. We showed the truck taking it out.
Yeah, I remember we had showed the truck, but I didn't know if we hit the site itself or not.
I got a question for you for Pad 2. And then we also want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for the $5 donation. They said, my fault for showing up late. Now I have hours and hours to catch up on. That sounds like a good time.
Yes, you do.
So Tony asks, fire trench, metal water pipes to the bottom, then bare concrete, then metal up. Aren't they covering the bottom of the trench with steel plates?
Yes, it's already been covered with steel plates.
I guess we're talking about the launch site again. That's not it.
So yeah, there's no exposed concrete in the flame trench. It's all covered in. You can see all the steel plates there. And I believe if you look specifically on the flame trench, on the actual like kind of the ground on the flame trench, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe those are specifically burn plates. Although again, I could be wrong.
No, they're just like the rest.
No, I mean the ones at the very top, the ones that I know that there are ones in the actual. Are they?
Those ones?
Anyway, yeah, because they looked like they had plugs, but I could be wrong.
All of those are with plug welds because they had studs coming up through the concrete, and
yeah, they're certainly on the actual legs of the OLM that are the structurally supporting it. They're certainly. I know there are burn plates there.
potentially burn plates.
Up under here.
Yeah, look, they've got to be burn plates. Come on.
No,
I mean,
they don't have to. They look
more.
Also, one thing I'm not sure if we touched on. Looks like they're doing some sort of work on the flame trench, on the other side. Yeah.
The gap between on the
floors of trench, the gap between the deflector pipes. They're putting in metal pieces to bridge that little
channel.
I thought they already did that already ages ago. They're doing it again.
No, they were welding these up last week. There was that little
channel for forever.
I remember there was a gap when they first put it in there. I thought I remember them doing some of that early on the stage as well.
I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Those were the pieces that they were welding last week. But yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking. The weird T cross type things they welded by all four legs.
On this side too? No, doesn't work.
They haven't got to that, I don't think, yet.
Here we go. Oh, that's too far under the tape. We've gone too vertical now. They're a bit bigger than you sort of think, aren't they?
They're 8 inches, 219.4 millimeters. And
It's a
now the 8
breakout.
inch and the millimeters, they don't do the conversion because they're not based on that. It's a piping standard.
Bits and pieces. Also today I saw on the cameras they're starting to put these the balls back in.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hopefully they stay in for a while this time.
Have we seen anything with that square piece we were trying to figure out the other day, a couple of flyovers ago, maybe?
These?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
It's funny. There's a bunch in the dumpster. Just in front, up on top of frame by the orange one, on the ground, by the green compressor on the right side, right there.
Oh yeah. Huh.
They all look very used as well, don't they?
Yeah, and then there's a nice painted one down. I don't know if we can see it in this one. And Gazer got a shot of those. Those are pretty beefy pieces. They're probably 2-inch steel plate.
So does that mean they're coming or going?
No idea. They're just adding to the mystery.
They kind of look used too. Now you say that they look used.
These might be all the ones that were installed in the OLM before it rolled to the launch site a while back. I remember seeing them all the way back then.
Some kind of placeholder they don't need anymore.
Yeah.
Oh. Wonder if it's like plates for the pins. For the hinge, or for the, no, under, like, for the main pivot.
Ah, yeah, to capture the pin.
Yeah.
Actually, is that a mark?
But then you said there was.
Oh, sorry. Like, is that a mark of the pin on the inside, and it's like the outside, and it's like the inside?
Possibly. Yeah, because they're massive pieces of steel.
And they'd need to be to capture that pin, wouldn't they? There'd have to be something silly substantial.
Well, there's also like some weird gaps down there. There's places that still need some shielding and stuff, so I'm wondering if when the scaffolding goes away, we'll all have a oh moment.
Yeah, I know. Some people say funny things in chat some days. It's all good. I'm used to it. They don't bother me. I just delete their comments and move on. Why do I talk about this stuff? Because, I don't know. Because I was asked to, I guess. And I keep getting asked to.
Don't read comments. You're smarter than that.
Well, I laugh at them these days. They're fine.
Good.
It's all good. I got pretty thick skin these days. Well, to certain things. Some things I'm sensitive to. Okay, this is looking. I love this. I love this new arm. It's just so beautiful.
So looking at the middle of the arm there, around the connection point between the two halves, I think I did actually. I did. Yeah, I think I did see some more walkway / pipe rack rolled to the launch site earlier today, which I think is going to be part of what will fill in the gap there.
Oh, please be the piece at the launch site that. Oh. Please be the one at Sanchez.
I think I saw today, Terry, on the chats, they were actually lifting something into this area too today.
Pipes, yeah, bits of pipe.
Bits of pipe, yeah.
Hey, Stephanie?
Hey.
Hey, forgive me if this has already been asked or talked about. I've had to step away. But you see the pipes run down the middle of the arm. Will there be a cover over those pipes? Yes, right there, all through there. I'm wondering because of the
Possibly.
bracing. It seems like there's maybe, it looks like it might be covered at one point.
Possibly. I'm not sure if it's needed, but can't say no, definitely. Although here looks like the pipes are on top, but still. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
Okay, thanks so much.
I know no one had asked that question before, and thank you for your question. Appreciate it. What's going on down here? Is that all like oil and stuff? Yuck.
Don't ask.
Looks like it looks like that spat guts all over the floor.
Hey, what's just down and to the right a little bit, right by the flame trench wall? What's all that about?
Oh, are they the? If you look in the flame trench, there are some pipes removed. Maybe they're them.
Are they the same? No, hang on. They're not the same size, I don't think. Hang on, let me turn. Oh, sorry, Brian. I'm zooming around.
I don't think they are actually, because the ones in the flame trench look like they're half pieces that have been cut off instead of full sections cut out. I could be wrong there.
Where's what cut out? The flame trench?
See the pipes there? It looks like I thought they were fully cut out, but it looks in fact that they've kind of been cut in half and then pulled out. But I could be wrong.
I'm not.
Those are bits of
seeing-
beam, aren't they?
Those were, if we go last week's photos, those were being welded. Those are up top.
Oh, so those aren't. Never mind. So those aren't. Those aren't
Yeah.
actually a. Silly me.
Oh no! Trust me, there's a lot of silliness down here.
And quite often we get illusions all the time. We just about every week, one illusion or another trips me up too. Don't worry about that. Okay, what else is in my folder of magic?
If you don't mind going back to Massey's, there was a question about COPVs.
Oh, yeah, hang on.
goody,
That's the
goody.
thing. COPVs. Where's that folder? Hang on. Where is that folder? This.
So while you go back
It
there, I'll go
wasn't-
ahead and read the question.
It wasn't. It's not about
Kate-
the what's it called ship cryostand that looks like it's got 20 COPVs around it. Is it?
I don't
This
know.
is-
I'll ask the question and you guys
Ah.
can tell me.
It's them.
K Rio
ahead.
1986 asks, will COPVs be tested for vibrations on connected pressure lines? Are they rated for vibrations?
Doesn't. Oh, sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
Well, they are rated for vibrations. We're not exactly sure what sort of testing campaign they're doing with those, unfortunately.
I haven't sort of noticed anything that can vibrate them, unless there's something in the stand they're mounted to. It doesn't appear to be any kind of vibration testing going on. But once again, I could be wrong.
Highway 4.
What's the wording on the left-hand side of that closest tank towards the left side?
Yeah. So this indicates that these are definitely removable covers, yeah, not flight covers, yeah. Yeah, look, they're not flight covers, yeah. And that might be this covers part number.
Yeah, that handle says, "Take me away."
Yeah. And the colour's removed before flight colour.
Now, there's a question for you. What do you think those covers are made of?
Red stuff.
PVC or some kind of plastic.
I'd say steel.
Fiberglass.
Would it probably be would it probably be safe to say it's some sort of material that can absorb shocks a bit if anything hits them?
That handle's not made for steel.
Um,
I don't know.
these tanks are not as fragile as people make them out to be.
REV2.
Say that to ship 36. Oh wait, you can't because it's blown up. I do wonder.
If you've
what
ever
happened with that,
used COPVs, you would. They're not that fragile and delicate. I mean, back in the day when I used to do paintball, I have 4,500 psi one on the back of my marker, and never once has anybody ever heard of one letting go. NASA has very accessible reports that they've done on their testing methodologies, and it is very, very hard to get one of those to rupture unless they're very extremely outside of their design specs. And one of the ones, and I mentioned this before, I should repost it, they're using shape charges to get them to burst at operating pressures. They're not delicate.
And this is their mounting hardware, is it? They mount on each end like this, I guess.
I assume, yeah.
So
They're
with
more
that statement, does that mean that they're using them way over their design limit?
It's more than likely a thermal issue that they have excursions on filling them, because that's where these are the most absolute sensitive, is the heating when you're filling them from the gas compression. So you need surface sensors to make it, and it's a very low temperature. I mean, it's like some of them are maximum skin temperature of like 140 F. So would that be like 50 C? And it's very easy for you to because usually like you'll inflate these in water if you want to do rapid fillings. I mean, they could also have these built extremely light, but as a rule, most of them are like some of the ones NASA. If they were like 4,500 psi, they're bursting at 8 or 9, and then if you go read up on the hydrogens type 4 and 5 COPVs, some of them they were, to get them to rupture, I think they're rated for like 12,000 psi, and they're bursting at over 20,000. Unless you overheated them, in which case they'd cook off almost immediately. But composites don't like heat. So depending
20,000 psi.
Yep. So depending how what temperature, either too cold or too hot, and how fast you the rate of change, the delta temperature change is also, that sort of thermal loading is hard for them. Like dropping one on the ground, and also most firefighters, their air tanks they have on their backs are 4,000 or 6,000 psi COPVs. They're running through, burning structures, and crap falls on them, and they're a known quantity. Every like major in-city buses that are on compressed natural gas have COPVs pressurized. They're not fragile, is all I'm trying to get at. For me, everything points to a procedural issue or a lot defect rather than something that is unique to how they're being used, not necessarily to the product.
So SpaceX could be pushing the envelope a bit because they do want to fill these. They want to do the rapid turnaround. So maybe half of the issue was they're trying to fill them too quickly, like trying to, or they're just pushing the envelope a bit, and maybe they pushed it too far. Or like I said, a dodgy batch.
Yeah, I mean,
Did I see they have lifting straps on that ship tonight?
They did.
I thought they had the 4-point lifter attached to it, but yeah, they have attached something to 39. Yes.
It was
Just
the
the 2-point
lifting
lifter.
strap. The straps are what's on it now.
Yeah, it's just there for either giving the extra support to the ship for whatever reason, or they might be moving it to a different work stand soon.
So, Jake, what did you say was attached to it?
The 2-point lifter with the load spreader bar with the strap hanging down either end of it.
Ah, cool. Thanks. I thought you were disagreeing with Lasker saying it was a 4-point lifter. Sorry. All right, awesome. So that's the CRPBs. What was the question? Oh, are they doing any funny tests? Yeah, vibration tests. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Where is that?
look like just static fill stations. I mean, granted, shaker table really wouldn't be that hard for them to roll in and set them on.
True. I guess the short answer is we're not quite sure, but we don't think so.
And that question might be directed as that, and mention what those stands are used for and how they're used.
I mean, what we've seen is they have just, it looks like transport stands that they're setting them in and just connecting the hose on the top, but it looks like it's a common manifold to it. So
Even with taps, perhaps even a tap on each one too.
So 4 can be tested per station.
that's what's looking. And it doesn't look like they're individually, they're filling all 4 as a common unit.
Yeah, but I think sometimes we saw with just 3, they can maybe isolate one if there's only 3 in the rack.
Yeah, definitely. But they do interesting mark the ground where those racks should go. It definitely looks like it's a moving target.
That just helps them line up with the plumbing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and also any pressure vessel you regularly have to get them proof test.
All for one is
Welcome.
curious how they're going to do the testing with anything other than the actual gas.
It looks like they're just using nitrogen gas to fill them. So
It wouldn't necessarily matter what gas they were using, would it? It's more about, or would it? Would there be a different heat profile for different gases or whatever it is?
yes.
So would nitrogen simulate gaseous oxygen and gaseous methane well enough?
It should. I mean, I think they're just merely pressure. They're just proof testing. I mean, you could do it probably with water. Unless, like I said before, unless they're simulating something unique with how they're pressurizing them and filling them in the vessels.
And could they?
You would get a different heating profile with water versus gas, right?
Yeah, I mean, water is just easier because you fill it up and hit it with a a friggin' piston pump to get the pressure. Meanwhile, putting in gas and pressurizing it, you wouldn't have to worry, like with the liquid, any of the heating from compressing the gas. So the gas would definitely be more accurate for their uses.
Could they in fact have a switch, like a valve system in here, where they could actually use high pressure oxygen or methane or nitrogen even? Because all three gases are available here at high pressure.
Right, but they don't generally would. It looks like they just tapped off that there's no manifold down here with.
Yeah.
You definitely would not want to mix high pressure oxygen and high pressure methane. So it's a nice purging. Yeah, and it's your grill. What's a few extra zeros?
All right. Let's see. Any more questions?
So to your point, Steph, that could be the mystery tank that showed up, the vertical one. Yeah. Which could be, you have multiple gas or vaporizers like that, so they very well might be setting up their own station for all three gas species and vaporizing it here completely independent of their system they have running for their static fires and proof tests.
What's all this?
It's to plummet that.
Before we go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just commenting because a lot of these types of vaporizers, you'll have multiple loops through them. So if they're wanting to test the tanks with the 2 or 3 different gas species, then that would allow them to do it independent of their normal infrastructure. Which would
So
then,
Petrie's asking how fast are they trying to fill those tanks?
don't know. And it all depends on the temperature of the gas going in, and there's lots of variables. The speed. So, because your throttle it's complicated. Generally, you'd put some thermal couplers along the surface of the tank and measure the skin temperature as it comes up. And most manufacturers will also spec what's the maximum rate of temperature change that they're certified to.
So the time thing I bring up is that because they want to fill the propellant tanks. What is it now? 40 odd minutes. They want to get it down to less than that. And I'm my sort of suggestion is that maybe which means the COPV tanks have to be filled up that fast as well. And that's maybe that's an envelope that they're trying to push more and more to reduce the time it takes to refuel a Starship.
I would think they would be filling. These can slow fill because one, they're not the rapid turnaround. Not to. That's aspirational, and probably we won't see anybody want to wager when the first back-to-back launch is going to be.
True.
But most of it is filling the propellant tanks faster is also you lose less loss. The slower the tanks fill, the faster any sort of sub-chilling you put in. So that'll slow down the amount of time they can sit with their 40-second pad hold.
I suppose. I guess they could start filling COPV tanks earlier, couldn't they? When they start filling the propellants out.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's for me, everything points to some sort of thermal mismanagement, rather than they got dropped. or somebody scratched the surface. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to.
I think you might be onto something there, Alex. Yeah, because like I said, it's a very well-known technology. So whatever happened was something that wasn't supposed to happen.
And I mean, SpaceX, they like pushing boundaries and they like trying things that probably they wasn't when they designed them. The company that manufactured them didn't think somebody was going to use them in that fashion. If they can recreate that failure mode, then somebody can do whatever and re-engineering they need to do to make their tanks capable of hitting that performance point. I mean, unfortunately, they lost 2 vehicles potentially over that, but nobody got hurt. And in the scheme of things, it's probably just a irritating speed bump.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for your questions today. I can't see any more questions, do we, Indy?
Nope, we got them all so far.
I'm just wondering if it's time to pull the pin.
You want to make it go boom?
Well, we are now at 3 hours and 19 minutes roughly. So yeah, if you'd like to.
I think that'll do for this week. So thank you, Alex, once again for your kind manner and all your knowledge and your patience with us here on the chat. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
No worries, and apologize for everybody for being extra cranky last week.
That's all right. I understand.
It's part of your job.
Only for you, Steph. I'll be a jerk to you anytime I want.
I might share some of that responsibility too, so good on you. And thanks, Indy Star, heaps for pushing the buttons and turning the knobs.
Oh, that would be Mr. Matt. All I did was read off questions and donations, but thank you.
Sorry. Oh, man, I'm dumb some days. Sorry.
Yes,
thanks,
lady.
Indy, thanks, Indy, for reading the questions and donations.
My pleasure.
And thanks, Matt, for not only being a workhorse on the production side of thing, but you're also a good moderator and mediator. So appreciate your time and your efforts with the team. You're doing remarkable things with the team, I think, and I really wish you the best moving forward in the team. I think you're a great asset moving forward.
It is my pleasure, and I love being here and working with everybody and looking forward to a good long future.
Yeah, cranky, and Matt rings you up and all of a sudden you're not cranky anymore. He's pretty amazing like that. and Todd and Jake and everyone else who commented, thank you very much.
And they
So we don't need to
disappeared.
do that. we don't need to do that most engine cut off things. I keep getting wrong anyway, but just scratch you later. See you later. Uru.
Love, peace, and chopstick rail grease.